The Magic Podcast. Hosted by Lloyd Barnes and Craig Petty. Your all-access, behind-the-scenes insight into the current happenings of the magic industry. Where Craig and Lloyd will thrust themselves deep inside your ears every Wednesday to rant, dissect, and give you their raw and unfiltered views on the art of magic. So, lock your door, take out your deck, and brace yourself for the Magic Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Magic Podcast. I am here with the orange hat wearing, yellow jumper wearing motherfucker himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, and the man that scares sheep all over the world. I am, of course, talking about the one and only Lloyd Barnes. How you doing, Lloyd?
I realized since you've lost weight, you look like a saggy breast that's been dragged across a hairdresser's floor. You know what I mean?
I've never seen any saggy breasts. I mean, actually, no, there's that time. That time that Sarah fell over in the bus.
Oh, no. How's it going, dude? Good morning.
Good, man. How are you? You look happy. You look happy and excited.
I feel fresh as a fucking daisy. I'm like a newborn lamb.
You know,
I shouldn't have said lamb. Fucking hell.
Newborn lamb. Don't fuck kids, but fucking...
fuck kids, but eat those baby sheep. Those baby sheep up.
I have to apologise to anybody if I cough a few times in this. I'm recovering from a flu, which wiped me out.
Spent the night gagging on lads.
Oh my god!
Hello, pets. Welcome to the podcast. If you hated the intro, then you're gonna fucking detest the rest of it. That's all
we fucking are. Yeah, absolutely. If you've never heard this before, we make no apologies for what you're about to hear. It's going to.
You warned at the start of the episode as well.
Yeah, if you listen to it, you'll probably find 10 minutes of substantial content in there. The rest of it is just
No, you won't.
Fucking drivel.
There could be no substantial content. We just talk shit. Sometimes it's about magic.
Talking about magic, I think I caught this thing at the session. I don't know what it was.
Oh, I did. I come up with a big grim cold sore.
All I know is I spent quite a bit of time talking to Andy Gladwin, and then I'm fucking sick. So that's I'm putting to you. We're chatting to Andy Gladwin. You got a cold sore.
What weight loss? Can you think about fucking food?
I don't know what I'm fucking saying or doing, and I ain't got a fucking clue. But yeah, have you had a good week? What have you been up to? Any news that you can share?
Fuck you, Craig. We're doing it now. We're doing it straight now.
I'm just saying, you look happy. You look excited. You look motivated. Yeah.
And yeah, no matter what the news is, I still got out of bed at 7:30 to get ready for this. You know, on a day that I didn't have to.
No, you didn't have to. Have to get up.
And I have big news. I have massive. I mean, to everyone else, they'd be like, so? To me, it's the biggest event of my life, I think, next to having kids and stuff. So the biggest news of my whole life. You hear it here first. I no longer work for Murphy's Magic. And finally, I decided to actually be 100% independent.
Dude, this is the best news. What he's not telling you is he caught a plane over to Murphy's. He walked in, he smacked the door down, burst into Austin Murphy's office. He pushed all the papers out of the way. He's pulled out his cock. He dropped it on Austin Murphy's desk, and he goes, "Suck that, motherfucker! I'm out." And then he tipped the desk over. Austin Murphy was there going, "What the fuck is going on?" And Lloyd left and hopped on a plane and came back and did the podcast. That's how it happened in Borehair.
For the record, I have left on the best terms ever. I was really sad to be leaving. They were really sad that I was leaving. I did not drop my weighty cock on Austin's desk. Although I don't know, Craig got like some sort of insane.
In my head, that's what happened. And nobody can convince me otherwise.
Oh God, this has gone so south so fast. No, I'll tell you the story. The real story is, unlike when I left Illusionists in a fucking burst of flames because they're scumbags. This was just the opposite. I went to Murphy's during the pandemic, and Kaylee had lost her job at the nursery because they'd closed down. She was pregnant. We just got a mortgage and a big fucking tax bill. I think it was, like I say, big comparatively. It was 14 grand for the year. And I'd quit illusionists. I could not, as a man with integrity, continue to work alongside those people.
And you was like really depressed at the time, weren't you? Because
Remember when you first interviewed me, I was bald. I was balding all the sides of my hair.
you were really stressed. But you'd even got to a point where you were contemplating like not doing stuff in magic. That's how that whole thing affected you.
Well, also as well with that was I'd been turned into like this sort of cash cow for them. Every idea I would show them an illusion if they were trying to monetize in some way, shape, or form, and I felt grim and dirty. So for a bit, I was like, whatever and that's why the YouTube channel started, was because I wanted to give as much of my IP away for free to the magic community as a sort of penance to be like, I'm so sorry that like, you know, I everything I came up with was like sort of turned into a product, and it just felt grim. So I was thinking about just trying to like just keep magic as my hobby for a bit. Anyway, it turns out I am like you. Magic is the only thing I think about. I eat, sleep, breathe, shit magic. So I had a couple of good ideas, and I knew from being in the industry, this is like 6 years ago now, I knew from being in the industry that these were $1 million ideas. The Lux, things like Lux, Cognito, and other stuff. And I was like, right, Katie's pregnant. I'm not a greedy man, never been interested in cash. So, but I do want stability. I really want to know that during the pandemic that I'm going to have a roof over my head for the family, my newborn son, my wife, and everything. So I went to Murphy's and I was like, hey, I got these product ideas. I know if I did them independently, that I'd make a lot of money, but I do know that A, it needs investment, and B, it could take 12 months to turn these around, which is going to mean that I'm homeless. And Murphy's Magic, George, Titanus, Austin, Kathy, Mark Murphy, they all like done. Shook my hand and basically put a roof over my head. And we've had loads of fun together. It's been an amazing partnership. I introduced some new and exciting initiatives, like the whole app sector of Murphy's, and finding ways to do that. I had like free reign to do exciting like marketing campaigns, and you know, really like it was able to, I think, put my own mark on it. Then bringing you into the fold and do all those exciting products and projects together. And it got to a point like I'm a bit of an oddball in that like I'm my own entity, any company I work at. So I don't like normally there's a videographer, and then you have a graphic designer, and then you have the marketer, and then you have the product designer, and so on. Whereas because I'm a bit of a control freak, I do everything. So I will come up, if it's like, for example, one of my projects, I come up with the idea, then I get it manufactured, prototyping and everything. Then I will design the packaging, not the new packaging, that is terrible. I'll design the packaging, then I'll film the trailer, edit the trailer, do the ad copy, the marketing campaign. The only thing I don't touch pretty much at all is the distribution. Yeah. So I was doing this for years, and I
just need to toot your own horn a little bit, because people don't know about this behind the scenes. Like when you're working at Murphy's or have been working at Murphy's, you're not just like coasting. Like you get targets, obviously, or you had targets at Murphy's, and you were like just smashing those targets. Then some. You were like bringing in more business than they possibly could have imagined. Like it was a good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm quite proud of like how much.
Well, put it this way: if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be at Murphy's, because I was more than happy with Penguin and Alakazam, and I had no intention of going there. And it was because of you that I started working with Murphy's.
And thank you for taking a chance on working on projects with me, because it could have gone the opposite direction. I think we've done so much fun and exciting stuff, from Quantum Deck, Atomic Deck, Savant.
And just so you guys know, it's not that just because Lloyd's leaving Murphy's, it doesn't mean you're not going to see another Craig Petty, Lloyd Barnes.
You got a few things to finish off. So anyway, right? So I was doing a lot, and I knew, and everyone told me that like even the traffic for any projects that I was involved with was often, because I was involved. Thing is, I don't get commission. Right, that's the big thing, and also I agreed to that when I started there. So there's no bad blood at all. But a lot, pretty much like the the 80% of the bulk of the traffic for the projects that I was involved in came from my YouTube channel. And you can just see that from, you go watch the trailer, you look at the trailer numbers, is like tens of thousands and off my channel. And I just sort of, I knew it for a while and everyone told me, but it was kind of like, well, if I'm doing essentially everything, and also like the traffic is going from me as well, then why am I, you know, when in the nicest way possible, like, but you know, why make them millions and you know, and not do it myself, and at the same time have to answer to anyone, because I'm a 37-year-old man now. I've got kids. I want to show them what I think it should be. Like, you know, you shouldn't have to necessarily, if you've got a skill set. And yeah, so that, you know, there's these things that I like have to be involved with that were of no interest to me, but it was part of the job description. And I don't know, I felt like looking at the numbers and how things pan out, that like realistically I could do a lot less, not have to hit any targets, not have to do any, you know, not have to do 95% of the things that were sort of part of the mandate, and earn equally, if not more, on my own. And it's not about the earnings, but it's about just keep making, basically it's swapping that salary and having the same security for my kids and my wife, but be free and have autonomy and make decisions that, you know, because no matter where you are in the world, if you're working for someone, there's going to be things that don't align. Like for me, a big stupid thing is that I don't like the packaging at the company. I really know.
I know. And you know,
Love the guys there, but I really don't like that packaging. It's so counterintuitive to Magic, and you know, it takes all the
well,
fun.
we went for the really cool fucking boxes that used to come with the, you know, you look at Cube 52 and you look at Evoke and you look at the Infinity.
I love the Lux
you look at
packaging.
the Lux and- yeah,
I think that's so cool.
it's sexy. It really is, yeah. And now you've got the same white boxes, just with different images on them.
Yeah, you know, and for Austin's vision and the rest of the company's vision, it's probably exactly what they want, and it fits them, but it's not for me, you know. And there's other Magic companies where I'm not a fan of their packaging, and the reason that's a problem is because of me, is because I'm, like I said earlier, I'm the control freak. I like to, if it's a project that I'm involved in, I am doing that trailer because I just don't trust anyone else to do it the right way. If it's ad copy for my project, then I'm writing it. If it's, you know, every single element, I try to have as much, well, full autonomy. So when someone says, right, Lloyd, your product is going in my packaging, I suddenly start to go, it just fucking goes under my skin, and it's nobody's fault but mine. Anyway.
So it was lots of little things that kind of led to the decision, like the packaging and
little things, and also someone told me that you either spend your life building somebody else's dreams, or you spend your life building your own. And I feel like, I don't know, things like you getting me the Blackpool convention lecture, which I, you know, and the opportunities you've presented to me, and the things like Andy and Josh asking me to lecture at the session, I've started to like believe in myself a little bit more, because I haven't for so long. So I kind of felt like, yeah, I feel like, I don't mean this in any sort of like arrogant, egotistical way, but like I feel like, well, if these people can run successful businesses or work for themselves, I'm not going to be a Magic retailer. I'm going to be an independent artist. But if, you know, I like, why are these people able to do it? And I feel like I do have a unique skill set and I do understand things a bit more. Why not why not have a go on my own? So so I called them up. I had a long, hard thought. And also, this Vanishing Elephant fucking trick was the first independent release. I haven't even made a trailer for it yet. It's not officially launched. And in a fortnight, it's already matched my annual salary at Murphy's. So I was like, oh, well, there's my safety net, 1 year's wages at least.
yeah. And also the thing is, you don't. Lloyd, I know you well enough to know that you're not really the sort of guy that spends tons of money. You're not going to see Lloyd's family walking around South Wales in pimp outfits with like gold draped all over him. It's like you're happy if you occasionally have a pizza and get to fuck a sheep. Like you're in your forever home. You don't really want to leave that anytime soon. You spent ages renovating it.
How to fix it? If my kettle breaks, I fix it. I don't buy a new one. I have no interest in money. I have 100% interest and focus in time and security. That's all I want. Roof over my head and free time.
So let me ask you a couple of questions about this. First of all, we haven't discussed the real victim in you leaving Murphy's.
Who's that?
The end. No, the end of the bromance between you and Javier. Like
me and George as well.
Yeah, you and George and you and Javier, you were like the three amigos. Like, you know, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
I watched the Dex.
I was in tears.
You and Javier are like bros. Like he's the only one that got you on a plane, and you're leaving him high and dry, man. Think of the kid. I mean, think of Javier.
I was literally all of it. I don't know if Javier was, but I was like heartbroken leaving, and it was. That's the thing. Like it was still opposite to this. It is. I can't say enough good things about the company. Like it's such a healthy, holistic company. Like I've never had any like real major problems. I'm a bit of a live wire. You know, some of the shit we've done in this podcast wasn't best received by the higher ups.
That's the other thing you need to understand. Believe it or not, no one's gonna fucking believe me when I say this, but it's true. Believe it or not, me and Lloyd over the last 4 years this podcast has been going, have actually censored ourselves quite a few times. Fucking imagine that. This podcast, where we call the Magic Cafe out for being fucking paedophile enablers, this podcast, which has to be said, we're going to keep doing that every week. This fucking podcast has censored itself because there's certain things that we couldn't say
because of my position in the company, and I would never break their agreements with me or NDAs or confidentiality, you know, the insider knowledge and stuff. But yeah, I've had to like hold my tongue. And my thing has always been in my whole life, shine a light.
Yep.
Shine a light, no matter warts and all, no matter how much I've fucked up. I've always been of the opinion of tell the truth, just say it as it is.
Yep.
And then suffer the repercussions. But there's one thing that you walk away from any of those situations with is integrity. And I wasn't silenced at all, but there was certain I had to be professional.
Yeah.
And it meant that some things couldn't be, I couldn't tell the truth, not the truth, but I couldn't tell. And not that I'm a tattletale either, but I've always been a shine a light type of guy. And I couldn't, because I was trying to be professional and stick to my end of the bargain, you know, as an employee. Well, anyway.
Now, motherfuckers. Now.
You're the
you're holding us back. You could be in America, you could be in the UK, you could be a man, you could be a woman, you could have red hair, dark hair, blonde hair. It absolutely makes no difference. No fucking difference at all.
You fuck kids. It is this thing. I ain't looking for controversy. It's just if you do fuck a kid or do something along those lines, you're gonna be exposed for that.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Yep.
I don't like shit like that. Anyway, right. So I called the guy.
Yeah, we got to the part where you were flopping your dick on Austin Murphy's death.
God. I know that's the soundbite that'll go back to my boys at Murphy's.
I'd like you to. I've got a certain thumbnail I want to request for this. Yeah, carry on.
One time I leave on really good terms.
And I fucking
had 2 jobs in my life. 50%. Yeah, so I called him up and it was just like really, really sad. Like, oh guys, I'm so sorry. I just gotta do it. And it's also like I know that if I don't try it, even if I fail, it'll go with me to the grave. It'll be the thing that I think about. Like, everyone said it, and even certain colleagues of Murphy's like, Lloyd, to be honest with you, there really isn't any point in you having a boss. Not a boss. I mean, like having a company you represent, because if I make a project, I just do it all. Not in an arrogant way, but like I literally do every element of it, sans distribution. So it was.
Well, I was speaking to people at Murphy's last night, and because they were trying to figure out what's going on now that you're not there. Because for those people that don't know, when I work with Murphy's, you're my handler. You're the person that's handled all of my projects. Now you're not there. They were trying to figure out what's going on because you always film my stuff in the UK. What's going to happen? And when I was speaking to them, they did sound very depressed a little bit, to be honest. But they also said, I'm surprised that he hasn't gone sooner because he can achieve very big things in this industry, and it feels like being affiliated with any company is almost holding him back in a way.
Yeah, part of it was like I knew that I make up a big portion of like the it's different departments. There's like the marketing department, sales department, blah blah blah. And I'm part of the studio. I was part of the studio department, and I know that I make up like a sizable portion of that department's turnover for the year, right? So part of it was I didn't want to let the boys down, so I stuck around longer to make sure that that it's all good. And then the other part was it was the golden handcuffs. Have you heard of this? It was explained to me by someone recently.
Golden handcuffs.
Golden handcuffs. It's basically when you are in a really comfortable position.
Yep.
But you have the potential, or you think you have the ability to be 10x more successful on your own. However, there's no real feral need to take the risk to find out whether that is true or not. So with Murphy's, for example, I was in a super comfortable position because I'm not a spender. We always had a lot of money left over in the bank every single month. There was no real need to go solo. It's just that like over the last few, like we're doing like the session lecture and a few other things that I've done, like the Magic Circle, and then I was able to test the waters really with this elephant trick, because I haven't really been able to put anything out on my own because I'm contracted. Yeah. So well, that's kind of like what can happen. I showed them the elephant trick, and like which I'm contracted to do, and it's to the cost of goods for them to produce, because wholesale has a much different profit ratio to retail. So the cost of goods was too high. So they said, no, you can do it on your own, which is the first time I've had that ability. And it went how I always like sort of thought things would go. Like I always thought like, well, if you look at like a Lux, for example, well, you know, the tens of thousands of views combined from the 3 or 4 videos on my YouTube channel. Well, if I had a product store link down below and I was actually selling on my own, I reckon I would have sold X many thousand, but I'll never know. Well, in this case, I haven't even launched it yet. I've made it available for pre-order, but there's no trailer. There's no ad copy on there. There's no, it's not officially out to get yet. And already it kind of went how I thought sales would turn out for products of my own. Do you know what I mean? So I did that and I was like, shit, I actually think that this is properly viable. And the beauty of that is like now that I don't have any like targets and things to reach. And this is the other thing with Murphy's, right? I will say, when I was with another company, I had to release over and over and over again. Murphy's have not forced me to release anything. They haven't said there has to be 26 Lloyd Barnes releases this year. I've had complete autonomy in what I choose to put out.
And I know you've had a great relationship with everybody that works there.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm really, 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 really sad about leaving. It's just purely for I have to like build my own castle anyway, right? So
it sounds to me, very quickly before you say anyway, it sounds to me like it's kind of almost like when you have somebody who's in a relationship with a girl, and you know that like that's not going to be that long-term relationship, and they're holding you back a little bit, but you want to stay there because it's comfortable, and you don't want to pull the trigger because do you know what I mean? It feels like
yeah, but dude, to be honest with you, like if I didn't know, like if I hadn't released this elephant trick and didn't realize that, oh shit, I could just do one of these per year and not have to do any work for the rest of the year, I could stay at Murphy's. I would have stayed. They are my boys. Like they're all good people. So anyway, man, where was I going? Blah blah blah. Did that. Oh yeah. So they don't force me to put anything out, right?
Which is great.
But I felt inclined to, so I felt inclined to because that's my job to produce projects. But not once at any point was I like essentially like you better up your turnover of products or you're gone kind of thing. But I felt inclined to, and I also, because of the grand scale of Murphy's, I also had to water down a lot of the material that I put out so that it was far-reaching. Like, so a lot of it was very beginner-friendly, and more tailored towards the general audience. Where the magic that I do, or the magic that I'd want to release, it would be much more like, yo, this is for. I wouldn't say I'm a pro magician even, but it wouldn't need to be watered down per se. I could be a lot more like Six, for example, my lottery trick.
Yeah.
The reason that never went to Murphy's was because you have to be a good magician to do it. And if it got into the hands of thousands of beginner magicians, they wouldn't like it because it's out of their skill grade,
Yep.
So, but now I can say now I have full control and be like, yo, because if it was like, for example, that trick like Six, Mark Elton really kindly put it in his Desert Island tricks in the day and said like it's his top 8 like tricks he does. So kind. But now, like, if a trick like that goes to Murphy, you have no control over what shops buy it and what customers they sell it to. But doing things like that on my own side, I can say like, yo, don't fucking buy this. If you're a beginner in magic, or if you're not skilled in performing, or if you don't have any performing experience, like, please don't pick this up. It's not for you. I can like scream that at them now, and not worry that somebody, in a random shop in Gettysburg puts it on their shelf and sells it to a 12-year-old. I don't have to feel any like guilt over things like that, because I kind of have the control over how it's pitched on the site or played on there. Anyway, that being said, it means I can do a lot less projects. So just 1 or 2 a year that I can do them. I can put them out exactly how I want them to be put out. And if they go wrong, it's my fault. I also comes with that comes with it as well.
And the other thing is, obviously you're going to be able to do stuff that you really enjoy doing. Like, we've made jokes that with the podcast, the thing that everyone's listening to right now, after the first couple of years, it became a couple of episodes it became a couple of episodes a year when we had something to sell. And it only recently came back probably about 6 weeks ago, like the beginning of December. But one of the reasons for that is you were so busy at Murphy's. Like, we couldn't get your schedule and my schedule to mesh up. It was like impossible. You were like, right, no, I've got to do this at Murphy's, I've got to do this at Murphy's. And it was like, these podcast episodes aren't short. They're normally like a couple of hours minimum. And when you're working for another company, especially when you're working for another company on the other side of the world, which means that your time zones are all messed up. So when you would normally be working there in bed, so you have to do stuff later on, it meant that a lot of the time the podcast couldn't be done. I mean, when I rang you yesterday and I was like, are you up for doing the podcast tomorrow? You're like, fuck it, I got nothing on. I'm great. I do whatever. Do it tonight. I don't give a shit. Like, that's a very different. It's the point I'm trying to make is I'm using the podcast as an example, but it's going to allow you to do more stuff that you want to do, but you weren't able to do because you were held back either because of time constraints or because of physically not being able to do it because you work for another company that's the largest wholesaler in the world.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. Like, you're bang on the money there, man. They would start work, or I would start getting on calls at like 3:30 in the afternoon British time. And I'm an early riser. I have kids. So it was a 3 a.m. start today because Thomas wanted to get up and play Transformers in the living room. But I'm also more creative in the morning. And there are and this is one of the things that, like, I think it's important to understand if anybody else is like operating or working alongside creatives versus like creatives versus like productives. I don't know what the word is, but like architects versus builders kind of thing. Yeah. Where because on paper the job description was sort of like 40 hours a week doing creative work, and like being creative means, like, for me anyway, like if I edit a video edit a trailer, that's creative time. I can't just you have to sort of be in. You can just edit a trailer when someone tells you, but it's not going to be very good unless you're in that creative mindset of doing things that are gonna, be interesting and different, or package design, for example. Like, you can't just say to someone, right, 9:00, design that packaging. You can, but you ain't going to get very good results. Same with like ad copy, and especially the same with designing magic effects. So on paper, it's supposed to be a 40-hour work week where you are creative for 40 hours and then you turn them off. The reality is, at least for me, I don't know about you, man, because you're a creator of the year multiple times over. I'm creative when my head tells me I'm creative, not when the clock strikes a time. I don't know if it's the same for you.
It is. I've found that I have the ability to force it sometimes. Like, if somebody, like, perfect example, I don't know if you saw that cube mix by Risky Nanda. Alakazam asked me to do the tutorial for that, and I was like, yeah, how long have I got? And they're like, about a week. I was like, fuck, really? Yeah, because we want to bring it out to Magic Live. And so normally I wouldn't have turned anything around that quick, and I was like, well, let me look at it, and if inspiration strikes. So I've kind of taught myself the ability to look at something and kind of almost force it, but it's never as good as if I get to do it on my own time, Yeah.
It's the same with like consulting on TV shows. Like, you meet up in a room at a time and you start to jam, and you can kind of start to squeeze the orange and get a bit of juice to leak out. But I often find that it's like when you leave those meeting rooms, you start to like, it'll be like 10 o'clock at night, and then, oh shit, now I'm going to jot this down. And then the next meeting, you present those ideas, and then it goes from there, And I find like, you can kind of force it, but it's never as good as if it's authentically just, it happens upon you. You know what I mean? So that was the other thing. I get up really early. I'd be creative in the mornings, or I do my thing, and then it would come to like the end of the working day for most people. And in my head, I'm on. When I wake up, I go, but then I would start my day at the end of the day. Then, and it's like, oh fuck, like it's one of those that can never really align with it properly. So yeah, really sad. I'm really sad to be leaving, but unless after what you said about dropping my cock on Austin's desk, we're gonna just keep doing like interesting things together. Whether that's for example, I can now sell my own products on my own site, which is pretty cool.
And which is a little thing that you couldn't do that before, which is
because there's an unwritten agreement. It'd be like insider trading. If I was promoting Lux and I design Lux for the magic shops to sell. And then
you can understand it because it would piss magic shops off. It would be like, hang on a minute, Murphy's want to sell us this trick, but this guy's selling it on his own site. Like, no,
I get it. Like, imagine, because the shops who buy products from Murphy's, if they are willing to, like, if the next, because there's a thing called the golden pipeline, which is the Murphy's produced products. Yeah. So it's when Murphy's, basically, it's like they are sort of, that Murphy say, okay, we've invested extra money into this. We believe it's going to be a really good seller for you. You may want to buy extra products and actually like promote it. Because obviously, like, you look at Penguin, they'll buy 30, 40 products possibly a week sometimes, or a month. But they don't necessarily promote each one of those. But a gold pipeline, when I said that, like air quotes, product normally means like, hey guys, this is our important product. You probably want to buy more. You probably want to market it or take an interest in it. Well, imagine that was a Lloyd Barnes trick, like a Lux or a Dex or a Cognito. All the marketing's coming from my YouTube channel, and then I'm saying, and go down below to Lloyd.tv and buy it from me. There's no incentive for this, so it makes full sense. But it'd be super confusing for me because I'm like, Lloyd, I want to buy this from you. It's your trick, and I say, yeah, go to anywhere else but me, and you can get it. So at least I can sell my own things now.
So
it's too late on a lot of them. But.
And you know what? I you know as well as me, I get booked as a motivational speaker. And one of the things I talk about is taking risk. And I always say, I'd rather be the sort of person that look back at the situation and go, I'm glad I gave it a shot, rather than if only. Risk happens all the time, and taking opportunities are going to come and land in your lap every single day, and you have to choose whether to take them or not. My attitude is you absolutely should, because I don't want to be that guy that looks back in 10 years' time and goes, if only I had done this. I'd rather be going back and looking and going, I'm so glad I did this, or at least I gave it a shot or something. And, I remember a very good motivational speaker saying to me once, he said, when it comes to risk, all you have to do is you have to look at the opportunity and ask yourself a question. What's the best possible scenario? And what's the worst possible scenario? And then ask yourself a question. Can you live with the worst possible outcome? So whatever you imagine the worst possible outcome to be, can you live with that? And if you can live with the worst possible outcome, and it's more than likely going to be veering in the other direction, then go for it, because there's nothing to lose. And that's what you've done. I mean, you've got all of that elephant money. So you've got a buffer there anyway. So the worst possible outcome isn't really that much when you think about it, especially as you're such a creative guy. Look, let's be completely honest. If it all went tits up, which it's not going to, and nobody bought a Lloyd Barnes trick ever again because you've left Murphy's, which isn't going to happen, there's a million production companies that would want you in a heartbeat. It's why the second you left Illusionist, you immediately got yourself a position at Murphy's, because anybody would be nuts to. You can walk into Vanishing Ink tomorrow and
drop my massive weighty ball.
Your massive.
I get immediately arrested for sexual harassment.
Oh yeah, but then after that Kermit the Frog sounding motherfucker would open up the keys to the fucking Gladwin vault, and it'd invite you to jump the fuck in and swim with the fucking $1,000 bills, and he would like. Vanishing, right? I know Andy listens to this podcast. I guarantee you, Andy and George and Tim and Josh are circle jerking right now, just thinking about Lloyd Barnes being in Vanishing Ink. Fucking Andy. The points I'm trying to make, and maybe I didn't paint a nice picture there, but the points I'm trying to make is you could walk into any production company other than maybe Illusionist, and they would like fucking.
Yeah, surely they've closed down by now.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on.
The dog died.
They are this year. They're fucking going down. But like, you could walk into any production company and they would give you the keys to the kingdom immediately, because you have a track record. You have a track record.
I don't know why you haven't. To be honest with you, the amount of stress you take on in your life, I'm surprised you haven't done that and just been like, you know what? I don't need this stress. I'm just gonna do my thing.
Murphy's. You need a replacement. The orange cunt has gone.
That's my superhero name. The orange cunt.
What's got two thumbs is the next face of Murphy's. This guy. No, fuck that. I couldn't be.
Ship has been dragged through a charity gun.
I couldn't be honest. If
any production company was trying to think about hiring me, they wouldn't do it after the just purely based on the cunt tally counter. I think that's not like daily vernacular. I'm sorry.
We will give you a position, but two things: one, stop the podcast, and two, completely disavow any knowledge of Craig Petty, and then you'll get the position
and my vocabulary.
Yeah,
I'm just like, but yeah. What was I was going to say something. Yeah. So that's that. I'm sad, super duper sad to be leaving, because they're just good people. They're just really good people, but it means I can do a lot less now, and I can do it a lot more tailored to what I want to do. And I'm just shitting myself because I got two kids. Oh, that's what I was going to say. There's a big part of the reason why I didn't do it 2 or 3 years ago, once I was out of the woods with COVID, and I knew I would be better off on my own. And
you're in the middle of nailing Kaylee.
Yeah. You couldn't get back up.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to get a mortgage for this new house, and then I had to renovate the house, and then Katie got pregnant in the middle of the renovation, so that sort of delayed any independent moves for 2 years, because like shit, I couldn't. I was in a rhythm at Murphy's. I could just produce projects, know my wages coming in, didn't have to worry about like promoting it or anything. You know what I mean? So I could just work on those and do life on the side.
And I want people to understand this. What Lloyd is doing here is actually really scary, because he's gone from having a full-time position in a very secure company where you know that they're not going anywhere. It's not like it's a little production company that's started. We're talking about Murphy's fucking magic here, And he's gone from having a position where he is, one of the top guys in the studio department that consistently delivers over and over again, and having money come in every single month, regardless of what he does, and running a schedule where, they kind of leave him to his own devices as long as he delivers, which he always does. He's gone from that to literally overnight. I don't want to say being unemployed, because you're not, but basically now you are
guaranteed income with a 9-month-old baby and a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
and a wife. Yeah, I'm shitting myself. I just know that if I don't do it now, and I got that safety net, so I didn't do it, and I didn't do it in a way that wasn't well thought out. I've got that safety net of the earnings from the elephants.
Yeah,
I'm going to use that as my monthly income. I'm going to use that as right, just break it down like that. Here's something interesting I did though, Craig. For anybody else that's listening, anybody who's thinking about taking the leap to go full time as a performing magician or as an independent artist in any way, shape, or form, or if they're thinking of changing careers to go work for someone else. One thing that I did, and I'm pretty much against AI, but I took all my income. I downloaded every financial piece of data that I had on myself. So annual income from Murphy's. I took all my annual income from my Patreon, because now I can put more time into that, by the way. So all my annual income from Patreon, my YouTube revenue, the sales that because I could sell little things on my site, like my lecture packs, because you can't sell, that's not a also product, so I didn't have any conflict of interest there. But my annual turnover of lecture packs and stuff, I took all of that financial data, as much of it as I could find, for 2 years worth of all of it, and I input it into ChatGPT and Google Gemini, and then I put into it that my plan was to sell one trick this year, or to start off with this vanishing elephant, and I put some projected sales figures that I thought that it would roughly do based off historical data. I also put in my sales figures for products that I'd sold when I was at different companies as well, Murphy's, Illusionist and stuff, and I explained in detail that those numbers are inflated because they are being distributed and they have bigger mailing lists and larger target audience reach than me. But took an average. We wrote a really, really, really detailed prompt into both, and then say, can you make some worst case scenario, mid case scenario, and then best case scenario projections of what would happen if I went solo? And it thought for 12 minutes in ChatGPT. It thought for a bit longer in Gemini, I think it was. It broke down all the numbers, all the statistics, every single outcome I could think of, and more. It came up with a lot of suggestions and things that I didn't think of. And it wrote back 2 incredibly detailed reports. And I sat and I showed it to Kaylee, because basically if Kaylee hadn't supported me in doing this, I wouldn't have done it. I showed them to Kaylee. I said, look, these are 2 kind of independent reports, both from AI, but it's based off hard facts, cold, hard data. And it said basically, worst case scenario, I'd be $1,000 better off a month. And the only thing I'm interested in is paying my bills. So let alone being better off. I'm only interested in just being able to be an independent artist and provide for the kids, because I don't fucking like holidays, don't like cars, don't like buying shit. I just want to pay the bills. So worst case scenario, I'm $1,000 better off a month. Best case scenario, I would something like 10x my annual turnover.
Wow.
And so we both looked at it and was like, well, that's kind of like the not the proof, but the analytic driven backing, to say go on and fucking go for it. I'm not just doing this I reckon I could do it on my own, and then having no sort of data to go off. And yeah, did it, and within 15 days, long story short, I'm on track to be in best case scenario territory.
That's fucking amazing. And you know what? That's a really smart way of using AI, because
that's the right way to use AI, I think, not for creative purposes.
I've got a video going up later this week about how to use AI as a magician and a business owner, and I talk about using stuff like that to do projections and competitor analysis and SEO mapping and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is, if anyone else is in a similar position to me, where you're wondering, should you take a risk in something, feed it as much historical data as you can, and then ask it to calculate outcomes and projections for you. It also worked out tax, VAT, where I'd realistically stand, and all the projections that like that's everything it went through for me. Really, really well detailed. I put it into thinking mode in case you don't know the differences. If anyone else is in a situation like me where you're wondering should you leave a job that you're miserable at, or what would happen if you went full-time gigging, anything like that, feed it all your data, there's a website called Prompt Cowboy, which will, if you write what you want to ask it into Prompt Cowboy, it'll then rewrite it in a much more detailed way that you can then copy and paste back in place of your original prompt, and it'll help you. It'll give it the best chance of breaking down something for you, right?
Oh wow, I didn't know about that.
It's the best. It's the best website if you use AI correctly. Prompt Cowboy, I think it's promptcowboy.ai. It will it just basically reformat your questions into highly detailed prompts, even if it's like a quick sentence, and then you feed that back in. Anyway, do what I did, and it'll if it's right for you potentially, then it'll give you much more confidence to just make that leap and do it. It's really
wow, that's great. So there you go, the end of an era.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Believe it, man. I still can't believe it. Now you're going to have to direct all of those people that contact you every single day asking, can I release this through Murphy's? You're going to have to point them in another direction. But
I'll say ask Murphy's.
Yeah.
or well, one of the things I've been thinking about is I produce your projects, for example.
Yeah.
Right, the ones that I love. And then me and you are the ones that essentially show everyone, spread word.
Yeah.
I love making magic. I love working on magic. It's what I do when I'm not when I quit Illusionist and I tried to think about doing something else. I was just making magic projects. I was making my little videos, and if anyone's interested in producing a project and you want a Lloyd Barnes trailer and you want to do it through me, reach out. I've got all the time in the world, and this is what I do for fun.
You are the fucking man. Amazing. One other question. Now that you're actually no longer at Murphy's, before we wrap this whole thing up, tell me how much of a cunt Austin it really is.
He's not at all.
Can't touch you anymore. Come on.
I know. I can actually say with complete impunity what I really feel. And I actually feel like if Austin lived in my town, we'd probably hang out every day. Because he's got kids around the same age as mine. He's good fun to be around. Dude, he was drinking and slut dropping in last year's Blackpool. He's a fucking lad. He's cool as fuck.
Dude, this is not why people listen to the podcast. They want
I know.
Force me to bring up Illusionist and ask your opinion on them, because I'll do that. I'll go there.
Let the dog die. Good old Yeller down. No, Austin's cool, man. I'm trying to think if I'm trying to be completely honest. No, the only thing that I disagree with Austin on is the packaging design, but he has his own direction for the company.
To be clear, Lloyd is holding a little bit here. Lloyd fucking hates that packaging.
I hate the packaging. You can never put the genie back in the bottle on that one. Yeah, no, but but that's the thing. I have a very fucking distinct way I think magic should be seen and perceived, and it doesn't align, and nothing really aligns with what I think, So no matter what packaging he had, unless I got to design it like I did for some of my projects before, I was never gonna like it.
But yeah, no, look, as a creator, I love having all of my tricks in generic little white boxes. It's great. And they're still affiliated with Murphy's, so I have to be nice to them. Lovely little white boxes. They're wonderful. Don't listen to Lloyd.
I suppose it depends on the aesthetic of the magic shop that that some of you would be looking for. For example,
Apple.
There are those magic shops that love that clean, brawn Apple style aesthetic where it's more about minimal versus cluttered. And so for those stores, they love the design.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a classics sort of, I like that more Baroque type, interesting, mysterious feel. I like things that have hidden codes and meanings hidden within them. So any packaging that's not like that doesn't really fit me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Lux packaging is just a basic example, but there's hidden things within this that people don't realize. And, I don't know, I just like adding Easter eggs and stuff, and you can't really get away with that with the new brand. But no, man, I don't know. And this is not me being professional because I'm still like transitioning out of there. I'm still like, I still got to send over some information and stuff. He's sound as fuck, Austin.
That's good to know. I've always had
good laugh.
Great experience with him. He's always been really cool with me. So
yeah, dude, he's I don't have any. I'm just sad that I have to leave them, to be honest with you, because they're all nice people.
Yeah, I get that, but it's not like you're never going to see them again. I'm sure that you'll be.
We're gonna go for food in Blackpool.
Yeah, you can take shots with Kathy and stuff, and you'll be.
I'm gonna. Kathy, she met me. She's like, "What the actual fuck?"
Kathy, I could imagine being very pissed off about this.
So sad. Kathy's my
girl. Because don't forget, it was only a couple of years ago that Michelle left her.
Yeah, I know. Me and Kaylee. That's possibly the most heartbreaking thing is that because me, Kaylee, and Kathy fucking love each other. But yeah, it is sad. Like it is sad.
Yeah, but also exciting.
Yeah. See, I'm scared. Really, I am. If I'm being honest, I'm not one of these people that's gonna have bravado. I'm really.
And you know what? You know what I love that I'm seeing from you in 2026? I'm seeing like a Lloyd Barnes that's just saying fucking yes to everything. Like, you're at the session, you're lecturing at various different societies.
I'm doing a gala show.
You're doing a gala show?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been announced yet, but Andre Kanishka has invited me to lecture and be part of the gala show at a convention in the Czech Republic. I won't name it because then it might not give the game away. But so I said yeah.
And you're I don't want to say too much, but you're appearing very, very soon on the Penguin podcast with Eric Tate, right?
Yeah, I think we're recording this afternoon. That just happened by chance. That was just like that wasn't because I was solo, but Eric reached out. I was like, "Yo, your managing elephant trick is cool. Let's get you on the podcast." I got to do Desert Island Tricks. I keep meaning to get back to Jamie Dawes as well. I'll do that. I will do it. I have time now. I'm a free bird.
Here's the other thing as well, by the way. I don't think Murphys will have a problem with me saying this. Like, it's the little things that you can be free with now as well. And I'm not dissing Murphys at all. But for example, you probably noticed every time I bought a Penguin magic trick out, there was never a quote from Lloyd Barnes. I always asked you for a quote, and it was difficult for you to give me a quote for one of my products coming out with Penguin just because of how that whole industry works. And there's no problem with that. I totally get that. But that's something that you can now do. Anything where your hands were tied, now you can be like, no, I'm not tied anymore. I can do anything.
Yeah. And it wasn't like a dictatorship.
No, I know.
Propaganda machine. It was just like from a professional standpoint. I couldn't really go out of my way to promote.
You can't promote anything that's not. No. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Murphy's is a big company. Even though it's a family-run business, it's a big business. It's corporate. It's a big corporate. And they can't be seen, you as an employee of Murphy's can't be seen to be promoting one magic shop over another. Could you imagine? Yeah. That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. I would be pissed off.
See, my personal opinion is that that's not an issue because I just like good magic. So if something's good, it's not a zero-sum industry, in my opinion. And nor did they assume that it was. But my personal opinion is that like, if someone's got a good piece of magic, I'll get behind it 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because I just want better magic out there, So a rising tide raises all ships as well.
Yeah.
But from a professional business standpoint, and that was the good thing about Murphy's in one sense is that it wasn't run by adult babies. It was they treated it as a business, which was good because there was a HR department, there was a proper accounting department, a proper sales department. Instead of trying to force people to do multiple different jobs and everything, it was like everyone had a role and everything was treated properly. So in one respect, it was like I couldn't be like as free as an independent artist like I am now, with like giving quotes and stuff. And not that I but also the good side of it was like having a proper job. Whereas I know sometimes it's not when it should be.
Exactly. It's very, very, very fucking exciting, man. It really is.
I wasn't going to talk about this today, to be honest with you, man. I really wasn't. Like,
well, you're going to make an official announcement, right? When is that going out? Because people should watch that video. Because I literally gaslighted you on this in a way, because we weren't going to talk about it, and I got you talking about it within 2 minutes. So
yeah, I think I was going to drop my cock on Austin's desk.
Yeah,
fucking...
I'm sure that the actual official announcement you make will not involve your cock and Austin
or any desks.
Or any desks. But when are you doing that? Like, so people can choose?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I wasn't going to do it for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh shit!
I really, really, really was. I was gonna. I was gonna put like a little. Just because I got time now, and people don't understand. I fucking love projects. I don't mean products. I mean projects. Like a little video. I was gonna put like a story in there. I was gonna like tell like, I don't know, just like. I was just going to make it into like a little fun project to do, tell like a little bit of the history and where it is and where I am and what the future was going to hold. And I haven't really mapped that out fully either. So I was going to wait until I knew what I was going to do fully before saying it. But the toothpaste has been squeezed out of the tube.
And then I come along and I fuck things up like normal.
Fuck it right up. Nah, well, I was going to let people know. Wasn't going to hide it at all, but I was just gonna try and tell people in like a cool way. But fuck it, this is the Magic Podcast. You get exclusives here first.
Fucking amazing. Okay, so that's our first topic. Lloyd has left Murphy's Magic, and Austin is crying into his cereal when he gets up in about a few hours. So
no, Austin was like so supportive.
No, I know it would be. I know it would be. I'm still joking. I know you guys have got a great relationship, and that's probably what makes it even worse for you in a way. But it's like,
yeah, honestly, that's the worst part. Is that like, there's no bad eggs there. Yeah, everyone's chill. Everyone's sound. Everyone's just like, everyone has a laugh. That's the main thing to me. Is like you can have fun with everyone in that company.
Like I say, when I was on the phone to Murphy's yesterday, they were like, "We love Lloyd. He's doing the right thing." And I know it's going to fuck them up a little bit, because obviously it can't not. They've got one of their key guys.
Well,
look at that.
Hey, anybody who's enterprising out there, I would assume that they are looking for somebody who could fill my little place within the company. If you can create magic, or if you do videography and photography or editing, or you think that you can bring something to the table, reach out. I'm advertising the job. I don't know whether it exists. They might just say, "Nah, we don't need it." But if you are thinking, "Shit, I think I could step up to that. I'm young. I'm hungry. I'm keen to be involved in the industry in some way, shape, or form." The only thing I'd say is that, like, a lot of time people go to magic companies. They're like, "Right, I want to be employed by a magic company." I say, "Great. What can you do?" And say, "I'm a magician. I can do gigs." I say, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. What can you do?" And they go, I gig. I'm like, right, yeah, but like, what do you think they should employ in gig magicians? Like, it's an industry company. Like, what's your specific skill set? Are you a marketer? Are you a videographer? Are you a photographer? Do you have expertise in engineering and electronic design? Are you a creative thinker? Like, what is your skill set? And they go, "Oh fuck, I don't know, but just find me a role. I'll do it." And it's like, like,
doesn't work like that.
It's not. If you're just a gig magician and that's your specialty, then trying to like shoehorn yourself in, unless you can adapt quick or you want to adapt quick. But like, yeah, I've had to turn around to so many people who just want to be in the company. I made sure to like learn skills outside of magic.
Yep.
To when I was really young, so that I could I've never been interested in gigging, so I was like, well, I got to do anything but. So I've learned the skills.
And that's what you need. You need that total package. You can you're a great videographer, great editor. You're a great creator.
It's great. I can do it. I can get from A to B.
In some ways, you remind me of Dalton Wayne, because for those people that don't know,
the less sexy Welsh version.
Yeah, he does Penguin stuff. He does a lot of pretty much all the trailers for Penguin. But he's created so many tricks over the years, and they've always been very, very successful. But at the same time, he video edits. He does all the photography. He does videography. He's great on camera pitching a product, and He has really sound
Yeah.
marketing.
He's a polymath. He's a true polymath.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great magician as well.
Oh, very good. A lot of people don't realize how good he is, but he's very good. He's going to be at Blackpool. He's very excited to see.
No, I can't wait. I'm going to spend all my time with him.
Yeah, he's just you two will get on. I just know that you two will get on so well. Yeah, Dalton's amazing. He's amazing. Anyway,
I need to go for a quick piss. Can I pause this for a second?
yeah. Do you want me to carry on talking bullshit, or would you like to?
Yeah, time me if you want.
Yeah. What?
Okay, see you in a second.
He's going. He's going to take a piss. So, let's talk about something else now that Lloyd has left the room, and then we'll bring him back into it when he gets back in. There has been an interesting development that I think we need to talk about on the Magic Podcast to do with something that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. So, or a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, we talked about Oz Pearlman. And specifically, we talked about how he was getting outed for not doing what he says that he's doing, right? So he tells everyone he's almost like a human lie detector, and he can read people, and in reality he's using things like inject, and he's using very fancy technology, but he's making people believe that's not the case. And a lot of magicians were getting very annoyed about that because he was selling his book and he was selling himself on not being a magician and being more than a magician. And we've spoken about that, and a lot of mentalists in the community have debated back and forth about, should Oz be doing this? Should he not be doing this? There's a lot of mentalists that put themselves out as body language experts, but he's monetizing that by having a book and so on and so forth. Well, there's been another development. I don't know if you've heard of a YouTuber called Baskin. I don't know if you've heard of a magician called Baskin. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of a YouTuber called Baskin, but Baskin basically hates Oz Pearlman. Hey, I'm just telling everyone about the Oz Pearlman Baskin situation. I'm telling
well, yeah, this is juicy.
Yeah, we talked about this just before. So Baskin is a YouTuber. I don't think he's a magician, but he definitely has magical knowledge. And this motherfucker hates Oz Pearlman with a passion, like fucking hates him. The reason that's important for you guys to know is because he's posted videos in the past kind of exposing Oz Pearlman and saying, this guy says he's doing this guy says he's doing that. That's not the case. He's actually using, is a magician and a hack and so on and so forth. And he's had videos taken down. So I can only assume that Oz Pearlman and his camp have tried to take videos down. Well, this Baskin guy, he's just put a 5-hour video up, basically exposing everything to do with Oz Pearlman. And the mentalism community, especially in Inject, are up in arms. There's a lot of different threads in a lot of different forums and Facebook groups. There's a lot of different shit going on right now. So let me explain. So this is a post by a guy in the Inject users group. He says, Baskin and Oz Pearlman update. For those of you that have been following the Baskin and Oz Pearlman situation, he has just posted his biggest exposure video yet. 5 hours long, breaking down every routine Oz has done, including Inject, and now IRVL products. Anyone have any idea of what we should do? He's basically just exposed everything, and the comments are quite interesting. I'm just going to read this one here. So some people have said Baskin's insufferable at this point, probably a failed magician who just wants to know the secrets and now wants money by revealing it. People are saying, oh, it's not going to be a problem, just ignore it, he'll go away, no one's going to watch a 5-hour video. But then there's other people that are, and there's people that are posting Stephen Baskin's email and phone number and basically doxing him. There's a lot of stuff going on, and then other people are saying Oz has built this on himself. If he had presented himself as a mentalist and not some nonsense body language expert, people wouldn't be challenging him on that claim. Thank your favorite mentalist for this, but he should have known better. But he also knew he'll make his $1 million before he got outed as a fraud, so he probably doesn't care about the exposure. Some people saying Oz is just taking a path similar to the one that made Uri Geller a household name and an all-round rich guy. And somebody saying, yeah, cashing in on the vulnerable and naive people while claiming to know something you're not. I know some magicians fall all over Uri when he comes to magic conventions, and the rest of us believe that the moral character of someone is just as important as their magic tricks. They even posted on this 5-hour video halfway through Greg Rassami's realist Zoom sessions, secret sessions that he did and recorded. They're openly shared on there as well. Like, it's if a layperson ever sat down and watched a video, it's a very, very damning video that basically exposes how all modern mentalists do their magic. Thoughts, Lloyd? Thoughts? The comments are very interesting, by the way, on the video. If you go and look at the comments, there's a lot of people that are like, I can't believe this. I didn't know this. I thought Oz was doing it for real. I thought Oz was a body language expert. Is this not the case? Oh, my God. So it's getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are talking about it.
I have so many thoughts on this. Do you want to go first, though? Because
you go first. I've just talked for like 15 minutes about.
I've talked for like a fucking hour about my whole fucking life story. You know what I mean? So, well, first thing is that it's the guy's reason for going after Oz. Now, I don't know, because I know Oz has written a book, hasn't he?
Yes,
apparently, but I don't know whether that book is full of misinformation where he's professing to be an NLP, basically teaching fake techniques that he's not actually using.
Yeah.
Because if I don't know the contents of that book, so if he has done that and he's profiting off telling lies, so teaching people skills that actually don't work, then I can understand why somebody wants to expose him because he's a snake oil salesman. If that's the case. If Oz is just an entertainer, like Uri Geller, you know, and he's just making up like Darren Brown, just false explanations, then that sucks for Oz that he's just been fully outed because someone's pissed off that they couldn't work it out when they first saw it, or whatever their reasons are. They're just one of these people that can't let people suspend disbelief for any amount of time. But if the guy's coming after him for being a snake oil salesman, like where he's genuinely profiting from teaching people false skills or not teaching them, you know, the real work, then I kind of get it. I subscribe to it in a sense. The other thing that I think is that I don't like. I thought The Masked Magician was one of the best things that ever happened for magic.
Yeah,
because like I'm trying to think of an example. In my Blackpool lecture, I showed a bill change, right? And I said, I saw how many of you here do extreme burn or have done extreme burn for lay people, and like, you know, majority of the crowd's arms goes up. And that's my worst fear, is that I do magic tricks like everyone else, the same tricks as everyone else, because it means that you're not if somebody sees you doing a magic trick and they have this amazing experience, this profound moment potentially where they're like, whoa, was that amazing? Or even if it wasn't profound and you don't pitch it as like this is real magic or anything, and you're very like open, like, oh, this is just a trick, whatever. And then they go on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook Reels, TikTok, whatever, and they see every other magician doing it because, you know, majority of magicians all do the same shit as each other. Then it takes away so much of what was special about that moment to me. It doesn't, look, at least from my sense thing. My worst nightmare is a layperson going, oh, I saw someone else do that, or he did it better, or you do it better than him. Like that to me would make me feel like such a fraud. And I'm getting into another man's warm bed. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh. So I show this build change in Blackpool. I was like, this may not be as good as Extreme Burn, but it's fucking mine, and nobody else is doing it. And no, I won't run that risk of the audience going, oh yeah, it was so good when I saw so and so do that on that's the trick I saw somebody doing on Instagram. He's just done it in real life. I don't want that fucking drama. Even though I release products to magicians, that's normally they're at the end of their life cycle with me most of the time, you know. So, and I think that the reason why The Masked Magician was good is because anyone that was like, oh, my show has now been destroyed. No, it hasn't. It just means that you got to up your fucking game. You got to get off your ass and refresh your material. So, like, for example, I do a lot of mentalism when I perform. The mentalism that I do is my material, by and large, and the mentalism and the material is mostly unreleased. So I ain't gonna have people exposing my shit, and they're not gonna watch that video and know how I do my things.
No.
So Inject's been around for 10 years, right? Is it 10 years? Possibly,
Yes.
maybe longer. This is not a diss to Inject whatsoever. I think it's time to look for new methods. If Inject is his biggest thing, that's the one thing that's been exposed, and I know people get comfortable and it becomes their 10,000 hour effect, but I've always been of the minds like who's it, like magic and science should have always been indistinguishable from each other, or should be indistinguishable, or good magic is just science that we don't understand yet, or good science is magic we don't understand yet, like Arthur C. Clarke or whatever the fuck that quote is. We have always, as magicians, I think our job is to constantly look for new and exciting methods, constantly push the barrier and push the envelope forward. I don't think we should be relying on this. I know there's a big argument against that as well, but I think the best magic comes from constantly trying to push further and farther than anyone has before. So for me, something like this, where someone's like, no, I can never use Inject again. Good. Fucking great. But you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be using the same trick for 10 years. And I know some people are going to be saying, well, I've been doing that in these shows and it fucking always gets a clap and it's fucking great. All right, cool. Like two-card Monty is a perennial usage magic trick for magicians. My version of it is constantly different. Like I just think that the only people getting upset are the ones that are not willing to work harder or to freshen up their act. And I can't imagine you book a magician and 10 years later he comes to your party and he's doing the same set 10 years on. That's not a good magician in my eyes. And if you're a paying member of the public, I don't think you'd consider it a good magician. Right. So don't get upset if your old methods that you've been doing for 10 years are finally getting exposed. Get new ones. Work on something new. Do something of your own.
Yeah.
You know, if ours is just having store-bought tricks revealed, right? If that's what, I don't know, I haven't watched this 5-hour video, but if this 5-hour video is just revealing store-bought magic tricks, who gives a fuck? Buy different tricks. Make your own. If you're not a creative magician, employ a consultant to make tricks for you. Or look at them and think to yourself, well, how can I make those foolproof? Like, how can I make them feel completely different?
Yeah.
It really isn't. I understand the argument of exposing other people. The one thing is that he's not exposing Oz's tricks. He's exposing like Inject and other people's material.
Yeah.
That's not cool. If this guy,
but the thing is, he's not a magician. He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand it.
Code.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it. This is why this is kind of a bit weird and a bit of a strange situation. I mean, people are hypothesizing as to whether he's a magician or not, or maybe an ex-magician or something. But he doesn't come across like it. He talks as if he's somebody who's doing a deep dive documentary who's found out this.
All he needs to have is one magic. This is kind of the other problem as well, right? Is that like Darren Brown's magic is very, very fucking hard to uncover the secrets to most of the stuff that lay people love. Like, it's very hard. You see, if someone did a 5-hour deep dive into Darren stuff, they'd probably get 90% of it wrong, right? And we've seen it. We've all watched it unfold in the newspapers and at the water cooler moments with friends. Most lay people get his shit wrong, and even people even I don't know how a large majority of Darren's stuff works. And that's because he wasn't doing store-bought tricks. Darren had a team of consultants and is one of the most brilliant thinking magicians, mentalists in history as well, to boot.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna be able to expose his stuff online accurately. And that's the risk you run that when you buy store-bought products. If you're gonna be a mass, it's different if you're a gigging magician. Right. If you're doing wedding gigs or you're doing birthday parties or bar work, it's very unlikely that you're going to have the power of 10 million people watching you to uncover your work or expose you for it. It's a very different ball game, right? So I understand that. But if I'm Oz Pearlman and I know I'm going on fucking national television you can bet your bottom fucking dollar that I ain't doing anything off the shelf. No chance. Because all you need, with all that banking, whatever the fuck his name is, all he needs is to speak to one magician, and that one magician goes, yeah, he's doing that store-bought trick, that store-bought trick. Because that magician doesn't need expertise to know that they're store-bought tricks. So I don't have a lot of sympathy.
So what would you say you would do if you were Oz Pearlman? Because I did some Googling and I Googled like Baskin versus...
Paint it red.
I'm telling you, there are dozens of reels from lay people. Like,
Paint it red.
talking about... I saw one just before we started filming where it was like, this guy was like it was an Instagram reel, and it was like, when I found out that Oz Pearlman is a fraud, it was like finding out that Santa Claus isn't real, and just stuff like that. There's a lot. It's getting traction. Like Oz Pearlman would be worried about this right now, right?
If I was Oz Pearlman, I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd be painting it red. I'd be saying, this guy has put 5 hours out of exposing apparently the tricks of the mentalism that I use on his YouTube channel. Got tens of millions of views, and the best thing is he's completely wrong. Come watch me live on a YouTube special where I'm going to live stream an event on the 30th of February 29th or whatever. No, on the 30th of January 2026, where I will definitively prove that what I do is absolutely nothing like what he says. I'd fucking paint it red and make a massive deal of it, and I'd capitalize off that shit if I wasn't doing store-bought tricks in front of tens of millions of people.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, that would involve a certain...
Give me an example of one of the things he exposes.
Inject and IRL pads.
In terms of the trick, right? Just explain like one trick.
I can't, because I haven't watched the whole 5 hour thing yet.
Okay, so I'm going to assume he says, all right, okay, so Oz is on a national TV show, on a news channel, and he reveals the country that so-and-so is thinking of after he said to think of any country. This is the real secret. What he actually did was he did ask her to think of a real country, and he asked her to Google the capital city of that country before the show aired. Now, when he goes on screen and he says to her, all right, I want you to think of any country in the world. Have you got it? They'll say yes, because they are, whatever the pre-show verbiage is. But essentially, all that's happened is before the show starts, I don't want you to panic on air when I ask you to think of a country. So think of one now, Google the capital city so you don't look stupid. Boom, done. That's what he's done. This is how it works. He used an app called Inject. I'm Oz Pearlman. I play that clip. I go, no, that's not how this works. Let me bring on so-and-so. This is a quick Zoom call with the person that had this with. You're a newsreader. You have to speak the truth or you'd lose your job. Did I ask you to Google search? And he could be clever about it, right? Say he didn't Google search it. He could dual reality it. He could never show her that clip. He could say, on this clip, the guide says that I've asked you to write down on a piece of paper the country you were thinking of. Did you write down on a piece of paper? No? Okay, cool. Well, when I start recording, can you say that I didn't ask you beforehand to give the information away to what you were thinking of? Yeah, cool. So now he's pre-showed it again. Now he has an interview with it. On your life, would you say that I never got you to write down what country you were thinking of? She says, yeah. Oh, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't use Inject. So he says, this guy said I got you to Google the fucking country. Did I have you Google the country? No. Did you really think of it on the spot? Whatever it is, right? You can make a whole docu-series, and then that's the type of shit which turns people from hot topic of the week to God status. If he can come out and definitively prove against each claim and then be like, look, now I'd have this fucking Baskin guy come meet me. Then at the end of the show, all right, dude. Yeah. And then I would start doing something like Pete Turner's propless mentalism, which is way harder because when it's like skill-based stuff, not just like app-based stuff, then he can be like, okay, think of like if he does like the Maria Troska principle with his like star sign anagram reveal, then like you're in like territory where even I fucking struggle to understand it, and half the time I think it's real and I know the method. If he got into clever territory like that and used this guy's own knowledge against him, even he could turn himself into a god. He could turn himself into the next like Uri Geller status by doing this. So, and I think everyone else can too. I think it's a fucking amazing. It's not good for Greg or Simon that his work's being exposed, outed. But also, this is good food for Greg, right? Now, if everyone's on the Inject, finally, I've had a good run, 10 years of Inject. Even other people are making their own versions of it now. what can I magic and science are always should be neck and neck. What's the next big advancement?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the app we were talking about last week from DV Magic? Their whole new thing is basically it's kind of like Inject, but it uses ChatGPT, which a lot of people use ChatGPT instead now, and they've got a shit ton of features built. What was it called?
I can't remember. They've actually been Menti. Yeah, I've been talking to them about it.
If I was Oz, I'd go to that basket guy. Okay, right. If you think this is bullshit, then ask ChatGPT to list 100 countries and think of a number between 1 and 24. Whatever number's on that, think of that number. Because now I can't fucking use that Inject app you're talking about. And secretly, he's Trojan horsed it. Jeremy, it's not going to take long. This is me spitballing live on air. My ideas are shit. Imagine he paid a team of consultants to sit down in a room with him for 3 days. He'd come up with God tier status shit and then turn this into a massive event and come away looking like a god.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic in one sense.
Wow. Talk about looking at things in a positive way, in the right way. That's the thing. People can look at stuff in a negative way or a positive way. And if you look at things in a negative way, the chances are things are going to end up coming out shit. If you look at things in a positive way, things tend to have a habit of working out. It depends on your outlook. It's a little bit like you. You could be like, "Oh my God, I've left Murphy's. This is the worst fucking thing in the world. What the hell am I going to do?" But you're kind of like, "This is fucking amazing. Look at the opportunities I have in front of me." And it's just that one simple mindset switch that really makes the world of difference.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think sometimes it's just about not even look don't look down. Don't look down. You're on the tightrope. Don't look down. Look forward, and take the next step. So I wouldn't be in panic. I genuinely wouldn't be in panic mode if I was all. I'd be like, "Oh fuck yes, this is what I need."
Yeah.
Right, because there's no point trying to shy away from it. He's clearly aware that people are starting to expose him, call him out, post the clips of his pre-show work being done or the paper billets that are coming out. Instead of shying away from it and just trying to hope that people don't acknowledge it, fucking get it, grab it by the bollocks and just look it straight down the fucking barrel of the gun. You know? Best way to do it.
I agree. Yeah.
I say, shine a light.
Do you think?
Shine a light.
Do you think that there's an over-reliance by modern mentalists to use electronic methods which are almost self-working compared to like in the old days? It was sleight of hand. It was billet switches. Even not the old days. You talked about Pete and propless mentalism and the amount of mental gymnastics that you have to do that. Is taking the electronic route and having, everything Bluetooth and electronic and is that almost too easy? Is there an over-reliance on that?
No, I think we should constantly be trying to use the latest advancement because that's what mentalists have always done. It's what magicians have always done. And the best ones have been the ones on the forefront of it. But there's an over-reliance to be lazy when using technology, and that's the difference. So some people will use technology, just have a word written down on a piece of paper, and then they'll just very willy-nilly reveal the word, right? Whereas the really good ones are the ones out there that are not just trivializing it. Or they're creating a story of it, or like Tommy Wonder talks about hiding the method in the shadows, right? Some people sort of just don't understand the concept of that. Not even me, really, but you know what I mean. I think there's a chapter in Darren's book, Notes from a Fellow Traveler, and he talks about how he would represent, I think maybe a mental die, how he would present it, and it's called his beetle box, and he presented it. He has this whole way of this whole story of you have this beetle box or you can look inside it or some shit like that, and it's fascinating, and it completely removes it. You're not even thinking about this die, but so many mentalists get lazy and they just kind of just all right, write it down, fucking that's what it is, roll the die, right? Oh, now think.
So would you say it's okay to use electronic devices?
Yes.
You come up with your own way of doing it that's not generic. So if you just take a dice and you go, roll the dice, think of a number, you're thinking of 4. Roll dice, think of a number, you're thinking of 2. Is that okay, or is it better to take it and go, well, you know what, I'm going to completely...
It's not the worst, right? Because do you ever see Banachek on Joe Rogan? Got destroyed. It was the most cringe-inducing, toe-curling experience I've ever. If you try and watch it, Banachek goes on Joe Rogan, and he starts doing. Joe Rogan's a skeptic in every sense of the word, and every trick that he did, like, couldn't be examined. So I was easily like sort of exposed. So he did it, for example. So Joe Rogan's there with Banachek, yeah, and he's like saying, well, you know, Joe Rogan's like pushing it like it's not real. He's like questioning his methods and stuff. And so Banachek's like, okay, here, watch this. Name any playing card, and he says whatever, like 7 clubs. Banachek goes through the invisible deck and shows us the only card back to front. Yeah. Joe Rogan says, "Let me see that deck." Give me that deck. And Banachek's like, no. No, we'll come to that later. And it's a lot of that throughout. It's fucking mortifying. David Blaine goes on there and puts a pin through his hand. For real. You can't say that's bullshit. You know what I mean? And he uses mental die, which is, you can't, unless you have deep knowledge of magic, you can't just on the fly say, but he does it in his style where the minimal element is part of his character, right? So he just says, think of it, and he reveals that way. That's okay when you're David Blaine, because he doesn't have these massive performances like Darren kind of would. But I think it's just important to not, for yourself, to not be like, ooh, toy, like, oh, look, I can, and just try and like leap to be like, I know what it is. Try and think about how you can obfuscate and not think it, not yourself be impressed with how good the technology is, but think about, what do you want to inflict? Like, what do you want to elicit towards your audience? Are you a real mind reader? Are you doing NLP? Right. If it's NLP and you've got a new notepad that writes things, right? Forget about the notepad and forget about your peak. Forget about anything to do with it method wise. Just think about if you want to be an NLP apparent expert. How are you going to present that? Well, maybe you feel their pulse, or maybe you have them open them, whatever the NLP techniques are, and just focus entirely on presentation and not be too obsessed with this shiny.
Yeah, that's good.
So absolutely, we should be. I think we absolutely should be using technology to our advantage in every moment.
Every moment.
All the greats did.
Yeah, well, in many ways, I agree. I worry sometimes. I'm kind of more old school, as you know. I've never released an app. I've never released anything technological. I don't.
Well, you nearly did once.
I nearly did once, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But I do like using apps, but I just think I see some magicians and there's just an over-reliance on using it. And it's just constantly one phone trick after another phone trick after another. I think it's like anything. I think if you turn up and you just do card magic, unless you're Daniel Chard, it's not going to, I think it's nice to have some variety there. I think
I talk about this all the time. I think I talk about this with my lecture even, is that like, I think I got free praise for my lecture in one sense, because every trick was different. It was not pick a card, find a card, pick a card, find a card, pick a card, find a card, pick a card. It was a one with a hole. One's 2 decks matching together. One was an ACAM, but there was a triumph. There was a vanishing elephant. There was a torn and restore. Like, I think if you turn it up and you're just doing phone tricks, then all you get remembered for is the guy who did magic with his phone.
Yeah.
Which is all right. But it's about, and it's also about having backups as well. Like, have your latest technology effect on you, and also have a method to do that if your battery dies.
Yep. But if you've got a method to do it that doesn't involve using tech, why not use that method? What's the advantage? If you've got a backup method in case the main method doesn't work, why not just I remember having a conversation with Ryland when he was so much younger. I think he was like 3 or 4, and we were maybe a bit older, and he was talking about planes, and he was talking about plane crashes and stuff. We'd heard something on the news, and I was like, well, when the plane crashes, Ryland, there's a black box inside, and the black box survives, and that will tell you what happens to the plane. He's like, so when the plane crashes, the black box doesn't get hurt. I'm like, no, it doesn't. And he just turned around to me and he went, why don't they make the entire plane out of whatever they made the black box out of?
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah. right? And it's kind of like that. It's like, well, okay, there's a method.
Isn't there a great script for a magic trick there somehow? Like for a total restore card. This was my. You come out with a card that's already been like restored a bit. It looks like it has. It's creased and say this was found in a black box. This card was torn in half and placed in there, and they found this at the depths of the Malaysian Ocean. And every time I tear it, I put it back in the box. When it comes back out, it's restored every time. I know it's cool story. Fucking great. But yeah, what they say about
it's kind of, but it's a little bit like that with like, if you've got this method that works, that's going to fool an audience and it's going to be great and it doesn't go wrong because it's your fucking backup, then why not just go for that method? Like
cleanliness usually.
Huh?
Cleanliness. All right. Say for example, you do a billet peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I always tell that story about overhearing the crowd said, "Oh yeah, I did write it down after the mentalist show. I did write it down before the show." Well, that one, it was a long time ago, so it was not technology based. He would have had to take the billet back, right? In the eyes of the audience, because like Eric Mead said in his lecture, assume you're performing to the smartest person in the room. Assume they're smarter than you. Don't assume they're idiots. That's the worst thing you can do. If I said to you, okay, two methods here, Craig, yeah? I'm going to ask you to write down on a billet something, a word, fold it up, and I'm going to take it off you, place it in this envelope, and seal it, right? And now I read your mind. You as a layperson, that's a good trick, yeah? The other version I do is, let's say, I was going to use cognito, but I don't want to be self-serving. So the other version is I say, Craig, take this pen and paper, stand over there, write down a word on a piece of paper so that where you can't change your mind, right? And keep it. I don't want to come anywhere fucking near it, ever. The only reason you've written it down is so that you can't embarrass me. But I haven't got a clue what it is.
Yep.
And then I reveal that word. Remember, in a scenario, you're the smartest layman in the room. Which effect is stronger?
Generally, as a rule, the one where you're in a corner of the room and you're writing it on a clipboard. Generally.
And you can't do that with a standard billet peak.
No.
So if I have the option to...
However, playing devil's advocate on that, you see products being marketed to lay people now where it's like, hey, this is an automated note-taker pen. Write on any piece of paper and it will log it in.
So then use cognito or something like that where they never... And then you can paint it red. Say, look, I want you to think of something, but just in case it's not one of the... I have a list of 100 things. My prediction is one of those things. That's the only clue you're getting. So think of one, but I never want you to write it down. I don't want you to type it. I don't want you to say it. I just want you to think it. But it has to be one of the 100. That's the only hint I'm giving you, because I haven't brought the entire inventory of Walmart here. It's one thing. That's your excuse for using it. And then you can say, well, look, did you ever write this down? No. Did you ever say it out loud? No. Did you type it? No. Did it only ever exist inside your fucking mind, and could I know it? Yes, it only exists inside my mind. No, you couldn't have known it. Okay. Perfect. That is infinitely gonna be better than me saying, write it down on a piece of paper, hand it back to me, or put it inside this wallet, or do this with it. The moment I've always said this when it comes to mentalism, at least, the moment it leaves their head in any way, it doesn't matter what the real method is. If they reflect back on it, they have exposed it to you somehow. That's why Cognito exists. I got other apps coming out soon that rely on the same type of thinking, which is it can only exist inside their head, and you still somehow know it.
Oh, some of those apps, by the way, they're fucking incredible. That's a conversation.
But that's what I mean. Like that's where technology takes a stride into its own.
Yeah.
And then if it goes wrong, if your fucking phone dies or there's no signal, then go back to your peak method, which is still good. But if you can do right, here's the question, Craig. It's not so much if it works, why not use it? I think the question should be, if you can do better, why not do better?
Yeah.
If there's a better version, why don't you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
Like, what would if you have the option to do an ultra clean peak pad or app? Well, why wouldn't you use it? A genuine question, because there might be.
I get where you're coming from, and 99 times out of 100, I agree with you completely. Look at Color Match, for example. I stopped using Pro Mystic and Anverdi because it went wrong on me a couple of different times, and I couldn't understand why, and I couldn't figure it out. And although I had an out, it was shit. So now when I do colour match in a stage routine, which I still do, I've gone for a very low-tech method that relies on techniques from hundreds of years ago. Not because, but in that argument, it's
experience.
the approach.
Lived experience.
Yeah.
Doesn't Simon Litkin have a fucking amazing tech-free version?
Yes, he does. It's through the 1914, powered by Alakazam. A tricolor is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's great. And Shane, who I think you met him at the session, Shane.
Yeah.
Shane.
Love Shane.
Shane has got a wonderful version coming out that it's again regular Sharpies. It's like a download. You effectively use your own Sharpies, and he's going to teach you how to gimmick it in 10 minutes to do a fucking incredible color match.
Wow.
And it's really
So your reason is lived experience. You're never going to put yourself in that position where it could fail again. Great.
Yeah.
That's completely valid, because I'm assuming these happened in big moments in your shows.
Yes, it once happened in front of like 400 people, and it just completely went wrong. And I didn't really have an out. Didn't have an out at all. I learned to fucking have an out after that. But at that point I didn't have an out, but I needed the out because it went wrong again, and then again, and then again. And eventually I was like, I love doing this routine. I'm going to have to come up with another option.
I just love this idea of fucking Ryland stomping on stage as your big reveal, dressed as an elf on the fucking shelf, and it's just wrong. And he's like, Dad, what the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, interesting discussion though. Interesting fucking discussion. The other thing that I really wanted to kind of ask you about, and I know we rag on the Magic Cafe quite a lot, but like the Magic Cafe is fucking dying, man. Like it's dying. Like
pedophile protectors.
Like at the moment, I've been during this podcast trying to get on the Magic Cafe, and it's just not fucking loading, which it does quite frequently. But every year, because I wanted to point something out to you, and it just won't fucking load. It's a bag of fucking dicks. But either that, or I've had my IP completely brocked because Steve Brooks has finally decided to pull the trigger on us. But I doubt it. They every year they do these awards, Creator of the Year and Trick of the Year and God knows what, and App of the Year. And David Jonathan is the person that actually runs those every single fucking year. And this year it's running again. And normally they have pages and pages and pages and pages and fucking pages of votes. And on this year, they've only just ticked over year 2. And David Jonathan's posted in there going, these awards are going to die if we don't fucking get more people voting. And people are like, well, we're not voting because a few people said last year we had our votes deleted, which they did. People voted for a banned member, and so their entire fucking votes were deleted. David Jonathan wasn't told, it was just deleted by the fucking admin at the Magic Cafe, because they were like, oh no, you can't vote for somebody who's a banned member even though you want them to win. No, you can't vote for them. So people are like, why the fuck should I vote? Because I'm not going to get my I might just get my fucking vote taken off me. But then other people are just ambivalent to it. They're like, we can't.
It's a great word, ambivalent.
Ambivalent, yeah, it's a new word. I'm trying it out.
Ambivalent.
Yeah, it's like people are like, well, you can't even fucking find the Magic Cafe on Google. It doesn't get indexed on Google anymore. There's no possible way you can get the Magic Cafe on Google. So what the fuck? When you're actually in there, less people are posting than ever before. Like, you speak to a lot of new magicians that have never even heard of the Magic Cafe. It's like it's
quite simple to me. The Magic Cafe actively protects and goes out of their way to look after pedophiles. Yeah. End of discussion. The moderators of the Magic Cafe actively protect while promoting pedophiles. So they'll promote and allow you to promote pedophiles' work, convicted pedophiles, whilst protecting them. They are literally deleting any posts that notifies a member that Ted Karmilovich, for example, is a pedophile.
Yeah.
That place deserves to burn to the fucking ground.
Yeah. It really
Simple
does.
as that. It's as simple as that. Anyone that's discussing these Ted Karmilovich books without acknowledging that he's a pedophile, and to be honest, you shouldn't be discussing them.
No.
So, like winning an award from the Magic Cafe for Creator of the Year or App of the Year would be like Jeffrey Epstein saying you cook a great breakfast. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck you, man. Your opinion is worth lower than a snake's belly, you vile piece of shit.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing more to say. Say it.
Yeah. Well, I knew it'd get back to Ted Karmilovich, which it always does on this podcast, and there's no problem with that at all, because that's the biggest thing that they've done. But the point is, the Magic Cafe is fucking gone, man. It's just gone. It's just a...
This could be the year, like Old Yeller. They finally put the bullets in fucking illusionists in the cafe, and everyone fucking it's the roundup of applause heard around the world.
You know, I put on my predictions for 2026 video. I talked about fucking hell, Illusionist, and I said this year they are probably going to shut down, and we've talked about this on the chat. On this,
I don't think they'll shut down. They'll probably just bleed it to the last breath. I think
it's the 25th anniversary, isn't it, or something like that? Hasn't it been going for 25 years?
Something like that. It's about that.
They should just like go, thanks for all the fish, like thanks for the memories. I'm done. You know, we're going to go out on a low, on a high. You know what I mean? They're just like,
yeah, but that's what you know what I mean? That's what, fuck me. If I was in that position, I had any self-respect, I'd do it. But hey, it's got to make some dollars.
Yep. Well, they're a marketing company now, so they market themselves. You know, that's what they do. They're marketing.
Or they'll try and do the fifth comeback, whatever it is. However many comebacks have been.
Yeah. Well, but come back. I was going to say something that was completely inappropriate, even for the Magic podcast. Then, so
scrape it off your mother's teeth. One of the things I looked at a post the other day that someone sent, and it was, fuck it, I'm going to talk about it.
Oh shit!
It's not bad. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. I'm just trying to.
No. When the conversation starts, fuck it, I'm going to talk about it. I know we're about to get into something that's going to probably end up with me in trouble somehow with somebody.
What? Where's the? Hold on a second. Let me just find a screenshot.
I'd just like to point out at this point that the views of Lloyd Barnes and the Magic Podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Craig Petty and the Petty family. Any implied friendship between myself and Lloyd Barnes is purely fabricated for the camera and the camera alone.
It's not even that bad. It's just I just thought it was a funny thing to say. There's a screenshot here somewhere. Is this it? Oh yeah. Tyler Lunsford made a YouTube video about Illusionist years ago.
Oh, years ago.
A couple of years ago. And it was like, it says like Illusionist did it again. It was basically, I think, I can't remember what it was, but they made another fuck up. And then tried to play it like they were in the right and they hadn't fucked up and whatever it was. So Tyler Lunsford called them out. I think a bunch of people did too. And then he put up a post with his screenshot in his video, and it said he put the caption: "There are three certainties in the world: death, taxes, and drama within magic. Here's the truth, though: there are food critics and there are chefs. There are art critics and there are artists. There are magic critics and there are magicians. Some are doing, some are talking about those who are doing. We know who we are." I was saying, yeah, you're marketers, because Tyler Lunsford is still in magic, coming to Blackpool, and some of you ain't in magic anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I hate that sort of fucking entitled fucking attitude.
It's actually arrogant.
It really fucking is. Oh, you can't say anything negative about us because you're not a real magician. Fuck off, you stupid fucking sack of fucking shit. That pisses me off. I hadn't seen that before. That pisses me off. I hate elitism in this fucking industry. I really do. Oh, we're better than everyone else because we're real magicians. And if you fucking dare, if you dare for 1 fucking second to criticize us, if you fucking dare for 1 second to say that we're not doing everything perfectly, if you fucking dare, then you're not a real magician. You're a fucking magic hobbyist. You're a mark. You're a fucking nobody. Who the fuck do they think they are? Go take your fucking eyeliner, turn it sideways, polish it up nice and shiny, and shove it straight up your fucking ass.
It's just funny though, innit? Like we know who we are. ... We're a prank company that's called willyweapons.com or something now, which is literally their side company and a marketing company. It's like, yeah, we don't. Yep, turns out you do too. We do too. You ain't magicians.
I hate that elitist attitude because you know what? Everybody's got to start somewhere. Everybody in this industry has got.
I remember Tyler's video. It was really nice, honest about it. You know, because he doesn't really go for drama. He kind of just says things from an unbiased standpoint.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. You can't judge somebody based on where they are because you never know how much potential they have. To turn around and take somebody who is just making a video on their opinion, which they're allowed to do, and then criticize that and say, oh, you're not a real magician, you're a doer, that's just terrible. That's just terrible. It really is.
I think for me, it's the irony of accusing someone of not being a magician while literally not being magicians.
You never know where anybody's going to end up in life. Like, I was a door-to-door salesman. I ended up being a professional magician. You know, you never know where that person is. You never know what that person is going to end up. You could be a dancer and be the next base magician. You could go from being a nobody to being a CEO of a company. You could go from being a comedy bouncer to running like a big marketing magic company. You just never know where people are going to go in life. And to criticize somebody at any level, I just don't think that's appropriate.
I think thing is like I think criticism is really good for magic, and especially if you're an artist, listen to the criticism. As long as someone's not telling a lie about you, criticism's good. I said the first ever magic review that I put out I got a scathing review. I was just a fucking kid, and it got ripped to shreds. And the big thing it was ripped to shreds on, that it wasn't practical enough. And I've taken that fucking that trashing that I got, and I think it was the most helpful thing that I ever received. I genuinely thank the guy for it. As long as someone's not telling a fib about you, great. So it just shows how like thin-skinned some people are, and the first thing they want to do is attack instead of. I mean, this is going back years. I just thought it was really funny that now they're not in magic anymore. To look back at, laugh at.
Yeah.
Cowboy Tyler Magician.
So the cowboy magician coming to Blackpool.
He actually messaged me saying the other day that he did Ancestry.com. He found out that he's 4% Welsh.
Wow.
I know. So I think that 4% is Sam hanging out of his asshole.
I think it's probably is. Yeah.
Little glowworm hanging out the back of it.
Is Sam going to be at Blackpool? Sam Sugarman?
Yeah, I think he's staying with us, with me.
Oh, you're having another frat house.
Yeah, I think we would have a funny group chat name. This one's called Blackpool Swingers Society.
Well, the last time
really fun to get fucking rolled on.
Well, the last time there was a frat house going on in Blackpool, I seem to remember waking Tyler up quite abruptly.
Oh my god! You're like, don't post that video. It's you scaring the living fuck out of Tyler. That was hilarious.
He genuinely shit himself. Like for those people that don't know, a couple of years ago when Tyler came to Blackpool, he was staying in this big, like, huge Airbnb with a bunch of other guys, and Lloyd was in there, obviously, and he had his little room, and I went over early in the morning, and he was fast asleep. He'd had a late night the night before. He was fast asleep, and I went into his room, and I, quite imposing figure. I just went into the room. Oh, he called into a fetal position, didn't he? Like, he genuinely thought
he was actually scared to fucking death. His penis went inside himself. It turned into an innie. It was fucking.
I actually kind of.
And then he broke his leg, I think, the year after.
Yeah, Blackpool's not good for him. There's certain people. I think he's allergic to Blackpool.
I hope so.
Although I'll never forget when you took him to a Blackpool fish and chip shop for the first time, and he just didn't know what to fucking make.
Oh, yeah. Black Vegas.
Absolutely. It's exciting. It's exciting. Tyler's.
Who were some of the new announcements that are doing the gala shows and shit, man?
They've been announcing. I mean, I think all of the names are announced now. I don't know for sure. I think all of the names are announced, but what they have been doing, and I'm getting it up as I'm speaking to you, they have been announcing instead. Fucking hell. See if I can get it. They've been announcing instead, like the lineup on the evening gala shows, if that kind of makes sense. So if I can get this up, that's what she said.
She said.
Then okay. So they've been announcing the times and everything. So there's the international close-up. Over the next few weeks, we're going to give you more details on the event. So there's the international close-up on the Thursday at 1 p.m. The international close-up is hosted by Eric Leclerc, and you've got 4 people doing the international close-up. You've got Babel, you've got Damien O'Brien, you've got Adrian Vega, and you've got Richard Sanders, the OG, the GOAT.
Fucking hell.
I mean, that right there.
Is it a competition or is it?
No, it's just a close-up. It's just like, here are 4 fucking incredible close-up magicians. They're going to blow your tits off.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they have got the one competition that will be going up, I imagine, at some point. I think that's the Saturday night. But, yeah, I mean, looking at it, they are... I mean, damn, they're announcing more and more and more stuff by the minute. And I think there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff. At the moment, all of the dealers are announcing the stuff that they've got for sale, which is always amusing. The international close-up, here we go. They've got the international close-up on the Friday night. So that was the Thursday night. This is the international close-up for the Friday night. Try to get not too excited. Don't have an accident over this one. First of all, hosted by, not night, by the way, in the day, 1 p.m., Spanish Hall, Friday the 20th of February. Hosted by Paul Zenon.
Whoa.
How's this for a lineup of 4 of the greatest close-up magicians of all time? First of all, you got Dean Lehen. You know Dean.
Yeah, fuck.
He can do stuff with, like, no fingers that most magicians can't do, period. My Young Jun Lee, like, doing close-up. Not doing
releases.
Is incredible manipulator. And then Paul Gertner.
What?
But I didn't give you Paul Gertner's name last. I think I'm giving you the biggest name last. So you're probably thinking, who the fuck is bigger than Paul?
Yeah.
Name number 4, Tobias Tostel.
Fuck off. Do you know me? Well, they haven't announced it yet, but we're doing Alex's convention in Mexico in October, and it's me, you, and Toby.
What a lineup. I mean, that's a fucking lineup and a half.
A lineup and a fucking half. Fuck me. Paul Goatner, they should call him.
Okay, now that's amazing. That's really fucking great. They've announced, so they've started to announce stuff that's going on.
Sunday Gala show. Sunday Gala show has been announced. I can see it right now, 39 minutes ago. Jan Frisch. Oh, I've said it. I've started with the top first. Fuck. But still, Jan fucking Frisch in the gala show. Who randomly started following me on my Facebook fan page the other day, and now I'm too scared to post anything because he'll be like, "Oh shit, never mind. I didn't realize shit. Unfollow." Jan Frisch, Matt Edwards, Matt fucking Edwards.
Now,
mind to mind.
The world champions of mentalism, by the way. Just bear that in mind.
Leah Kyle.
The world champion. Hang on. I'm fairly sure. Wasn't it like Mind to Mind and Leah Kyle that were in the finals of the Grand Prix? Like, she won her category. Mind to Mind won their category, and there was a manipulator, and the 3 of them went head to head. And it was Leah and Mind to Mind. I mean, fucking hell.
Sorry. So it opened with Norbert Ferre, Artem Shukim. Artem, I've seen it a few times. He's fucking phenomenal. And Charlie Caper.
Fuck me.
So Norbert Ferre, Artem Shukin, Charlie Caper, Leah Kyle, Mind to Mind, Matt Edwards, Jan fucking Frisch on the Sunday night gala show when I'll already be halfway back to fucking Wales.
Don't worry about it, because do you know what the Friday night gala show is?
I'm staying for this one. I'm staying for this one, motherfucker.
First of all, you've got it's hosted by Max Fulham,
What? Fuck.
who's amazing. Tape Face. Yeah, Tape Face
I've never seen his show, and I've always wanted to see it.
is on the Friday night gala show. Zuka, Artem Shukin, Reed Chang from South Korea, Matteo Frisano. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that won the Grand Prix at FISM. And my personal favourite quick change artist, sorry, Leah Kyle, I love you, but Solange.
Fuck, I recognize some of those names, man.
Have you ever seen Solange?
No, I don't know.
Oh my fucking God. She's incredible. She combines...
Is that Beyonce's sister?
No. She combines manipulation with quick change. She's the only person I've seen that does a mid-air quick change. So at the end of the act, she literally has a rope that's hanging from the ceiling. She holds onto it. She goes up like 20 foot up in the air, and these fucking feathers fall, and the entire costume changes in mid-air, and then she comes spinning. It's fucking incredible.
I want to see that.
Yes, incredible.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Thea really wants to be a quick change artist, and she watches Solange over and over again. And I've told her no. I'm like, Thea, it costs a fortune to make these outfits, and you're still growing. So I make you one. Within a month, it'll be useless because you growth spurts. So just wait until you've grown up a bit, and then you can learn how to do a quick change. But for now, stick to the other.
Or take up embroidery.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Do it yourself.
Jess Howard, who I'm doing documentary with, she just learned to make the costumes herself.
Yeah, that's the fucking way to do it. You'll always be the master of your own craft if you can make your own props, you know?
Yeah, too fucking right. Wow.
Whoa, man. Holy shit. This year is fucking epic. After the session, I got to see Eric Mead lecture. That's literally a lifetime achievement shit for me.
Yeah.
And seeing Jan Frisch in the gala show. Fuck, dude.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking incredible. The Blackpool hype has started. The Blackpool hype has started, and I'm all fucking here for it. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, on the Thursday as well, on the Thursday evening, Jack Rhodes is doing his full touring show at the BMC.
No.
Did you not know about that?
I did not know about that.
So Jack Rhodes is doing his full UK touring show. They've invited him back for the second year.
How have they fucking... Is that... Sorry, do you have to pay extra to see that?
Nope.
How have they wangled that into the ticket price? Like,
I've no idea.
That's too... I'm sorry, but that is a bit too... Like, if I was Jack, I'm like, yo, at least a tenner to see
And
it.
this is
That's
why I
incredible.
don't understand why people bitch about the price of Blackpool tickets. Because, like, if you were going to see half of these acts that we're discussing right
Surely
now,
no one complained. How much is the ticket?
the tickets went up this year. I can't remember how much by, but they went up, and people were like, well, I'm not going to go anymore because now it's more expensive. And I remember at the time I was like, yeah, but it's 4 days now and not 3 days. And also, like, it's ridiculous. Like,
How much
Magic Live, motherfucker, and find out how much that is. And,
well,
and
Magic Live's like £1,500, isn't it?
yeah, and then compare the cost of booking a hotel at Magic Live to booking a fucking shitty P&B in Blackpool. It becomes expensive because you
The thing
spend
with Magic Live is that you don't know what's going to be there. And there's
nowhere
nowhere near as jam-packed. Sometimes I thought Magic Live was years ago better than Blackpool. But I actually don't think there's any comparison, especially this year.
Yeah.
I don't think they can even live in the same solar system.
No, I agree.
From the sound of it.
I agree. It doesn't even come close. They're in their own fucking stratosphere.
They really are. Like this is like next. So it's the ticket. I don't know what's ticket price. £350.
Something like that. I can't remember. Yeah.
Let me find it. But divide that by 4. So 350 divided by 4
Doing that now.
is
At maths.
I don't know.
Divided by 4, £87.50.
Oh wait, actually, a gold card. It's 275 actually.
So 275 for the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, so £87.50, which is cheap as fuck. which I was wrong about that. So it's actually 275 divided by 4, 68 quid a day.
68 quid a day. And for that,
Sorry.
you get access to the world's largest dealer hall. You're getting access to all of the lectures, of which they've got the most ridiculous amount of artists. You're getting access to the fucking all of the gala shows, all of the satellite shows. We got access to everything.
It's unparalleled. It's unparalleled. It literally, into value for money. The only people complaining about this are people who complain about anything. I think about that for that price. The amount that you get for that 4 fucking days at a convention.
Yeah,
with literally like the big like. I remember we went over the lectures the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, we went in great detail over the lectures, but it's like ridiculous how good the value is for this thing. Ridiculous.
It was Hans Klock, Banachek, Jack Rhodes, Zabrecki, Paul Gertner, Richard Sanders, Artem, Aaron, Eric Jones. And that's off the Blackpool website, but they barely fucking ever update it. Yeah, like, and then fucking Jan Frisch, Matt Edwards, Mind to Mind, Leah Kyle, Solange, like, do you know what I mean? Even like a third of those people is still way too cheap. Etienne Pradier, John Archer lecturing, Paul Draper, Quentin Reynolds, Mark Hobie, Jay Sankey, fucking Tobias Dostal. I'm just going through the names now. What the fuck? Perseus is there.
I know. It just when you think you got names, you get more names.
John Morton. Harry's doing his 2 lectures there, which is me fucking insane. Dave Loosely, which is the champion of Magic, British close-up champion of Magic. Eric Jones, Eric Leclerc. Like, the list I'm going, sorry, I'm the reason I'm stopping because the list is just going on and on and on.
But then you've got, like, you're going to see dealers that you will never have seen before. You're going to see shit in the dealers.
Magic tricks, yeah.
You will never be able to see. You will see the dealers
that you get me a table, you'll be able to buy a vanishing elephant before they sell out. Hopefully.
Yeah. Lloyd with his vanishing elephant.
Okay, I took 50 sold out in 15 minutes at the session with a 1/20th of the attendees. So if after I get the first batch shipped out first week of February to all the orders, hopefully if I can get a table, I can try and take about 100, maybe that lasts the hour, and then I can leave my table for the weekend.
Dude, yeah, who needs Murphys? You got that elephant money, bro.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck on the money. I just want to be able.
I know you don't, which makes it even funnier. Because I also think that's cheap.
Yeah, it's on pre-order price now because they're too hard to make. So it's got to be increased because it's cheap now. Anyway, Lloyd TV, if you want to buy one before Blackpool.
Lloyd.tv. Now he can actually officially fucking sell it and anything else. Which is very fucking
support me, help pay the bills, please. Yeah, man, this Blackpool, £68 a day.
I mean,
£68 a fucking day.
Anybody arguing about that? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost a lot more money with the beer. Well, don't drink beer. I'm not drinking beer. I'm not drinking anything at the moment. I'm on a diet. I'm going to Blackpool, not drinking a thing. I'm on Pepsi.
We're in a dry house.
Yeah.
We're in a dry house. Harry's staying with us, and Harry's like me. He loves to party, and but I said, "Yo, like I'm an addict. I am an alcoholic. I cannot be around. I can't be staying in the same house." So I said, "If you come back and if you party, your fucking door will be locked. Your shit will be on the street." And I'm a little cunt because I always follow through. When I say I'm going to do something, I always fucking do it.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you fucking do. I know you do, bro. This is exciting news, though. This is exciting. I think, I don't know. We've been going for 3 hours now. I've got to go to your neck of the woods. I'm lecturing tonight in Wales.
But North Wales.
North Wales. I know that
that's like the Canada-America divide, you know?
Yeah, I was told by you off camera that it's North Wales where you put all the dumb fucking stupid Welsh, right? All the intelligent Welsh.
You know, Mark Elsden lives in North Wales. He is, as I keep saying, God.
Yes, he is a God. Mate, he is a
I
god.
feel like he's been put in North Wales to oversee his people. You know what I mean? That's the only excuse I've got for Mark not living near me.
Oh my God, could you imagine if Mark Elsdon lived just down the road from you? I don't think magic would.
I'd never see him. I told him in the session, I'm too nervous to talk and hold a long conversation with Mark Elsdon. He's on that much of a pedestal.
It just baffles me that somebody who's got the profile that you have, somebody who's got the
But there are levels
and
to
the
this.
brand that you have. Like, I saw you at the session, like fangirling over Eric Mead, like proper fangirling.
Yeah.
I saw you, like.
I didn't even speak to him, Craig. I actually.
No, you didn't. And I saw you. Me and Ryland were sitting watching you, and you didn't know we were watching you. Like, I could see you were trying to egg yourself up to go and speak to him, and you were like,
yeah, like post out.
And that's mental to me that you've done so much in this industry. You've overachieved at everything you've fucking done, and yet the thought of going up to somebody like Eric Mead is filling your pants with pure shit.
Same with Josh J and Andy Gladwin. I like made my excuses very. In fact, I nattered to Josh J for like 30 seconds after my lecture, and Andy for like a minute before it, opposite my dealer's table. And I very quickly made my excuses and run off. There are certain people who are fucking.
The key is not to go and talk to them about magic, but just go and try to start a conversation with Josh. It's like, hey, pumped any iron recently, Kermit? Try that as an action name. Try it. Just try that. Just go up and go, pumped any iron recently, Kermit? That'll and with Andy, then the opening.
To me, A-list celebrities are losers, right? But there are people who magic I literally idolize. I can't even be in the
telling you what to do. That's the line. You use that, and you'll have a nice conversation. With Andy, it's like, hey, took down any scumbags in the magic community. Oh, and by the way, how's your money? That's all you need to do. That's it. That's all you have to say.
I spent more time with Mark Elsdon this convention than I've ever done before, so I'm getting better at it. But I still I just turned to a fucking wet wipe around him.
Ryland was like that. He desperately wanted to see. He's really a big fan of Piff the Magic Dragon, and he saw him like many times at the convention before his show, and he was just in like a sweat. He's like, "There's Piff. I'm going to go and speak to him. I can't speak to him. I can't speak to him. I need to go and speak to him. I can't speak to him. I need to go and speak to him." It made his little fucking night that he then spent 15 minutes on stage with him. It's just.
Piff and Ryland was so funny, and Ryland was like Piff's part of his shtick with his spectators is that he makes the point of his spectators fucking up, as opposed to saying, "I'll never make spectators feel guilty." He like plays on it like they fucked up. He even has a song about it, and then so he was like purposely giving Ryland like ambiguous instructions so they could come down to him, and then he turns to him and goes, "You're just like your fucking dad." So I didn't know if he knew who Ryland was, and then he turned around and said, "Oh my fucking God." His end show at the session was phenomenal because it was like a look behind the curtains because he was trying out new material at the same time as doing some of his old classics or seasoned classics, I should say. And you'd never get to see that normally. It was like in a room full of magicians, there's him like ad-libbing, half following the script, half. Do you ever with pantomimes? If you book the last show of the season of the pantomime, they go off script and they have fun.
Oh yeah, they just don't give a fuck.
Sometimes they do it drunk even as well.
Yeah.
It felt very much like that. It's like you got to see like the completely unscripted fun version. It was so cool. He was like, "Is this supposed to be happening?" I was like, "Yes and no." Phenomenal.
And that's the bet. Yeah. The session are going to have to try really hard to top this year, next year.
Who would you book as the gala show people for the session next year?
I'd get Bill Malone. I'd get Bill Malone. They obviously have a relationship with him because they got him to Magi Fest. Is the guest of
for a gala show though? Because I know he's been
for a gala show, but for the guest of honor, I would have him. I really would.
Yeah.
And you know what? If
Teller, I always say Teller. If you can get
I don't think Teller would do it, and he's probably going to be dead by next year. But what I'd do
more likely to be paired up for breaking his leg.
Yeah, you know what I'd try. They've obviously got a relationship with Piff, and I know that John Vanderput's been good friends with Andy for a while. I would try to get because the session is literally. I would try and get the Piff and Pop show. The Pendulette and Piff.
Oh, yeah.
That was so well received this year. If you announce Piff again, people will be like, oh, fucking up. But this time he's bringing Pem Gillette. I think that would
He needs to change his name to Peg with his broken peg leg. Peg Gillette.
Peg Gillette. But I think he'd probably be a bigger pull than Penn and Teller, because Penn and Teller come over quite a lot to the UK. I think that would be a big pull.
That would be fucking hilarious. Who else has a good... I don't know if they could get Shin over. Shin would be good. Shin Lim.
Yeah, Shin Lim's great. Yeah.
He's got a Vegas show. Colin Cloud.
Colin Cloud would be good.
Fucking phenomenal.
I mean, it just shows how the fucking session has grown. I mean, we're talking about potential people that could realistically be at the session next year. And
Only the biggest.
Throwing out like Las Vegas. It was only like a fucking decade ago, Lloyd, that it was held in like a little hotel in Gloucester, and there was no gala show. And the best that you got is Andy Gladwin saying hello and welcome and thanks for coming. You know what I mean? And to see where it is now.
Stephen Frayne would be good for a gala show because he's done arena tours. He's got a new show opening in February in London. It's fucking phenomenal.
No, who I
would be a fantastic guest of honor. Oh, he was like 2 years ago, wasn't he? Or 3 years ago.
I tell you who they should have doing this full show that feels very Vanishing Ink as well, totally on brand.
Mario the Maker.
Assy Wind.
Oh fuck yeah!
I would
they
be totally
awesome.
Yeah. They could get...
Yeah, and he has a show too. He has a full show.
He was one of the very first people to do a masterclass with Vanishing Ink. I know he would do it. And he feels very Vanishing Ink.
Yeah, or Mario the Maker.
Yeah, or if the one that really got... You know what I would do if I was Andy and Josh? After just like fucking swimming in a pile of money? I would... I would go full on to the controversy. I'd go full on balls deep, and I'd get Oz Pearlman to do his full show.
No, I think he would charge millions, hundreds of thousands for that.
I don't know. I think he might do it.
David Williamson would be good. Is he doing Magic Fest?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah. They got the power to get anyone. Delgadio.
Yep.
Although I don't think they could get Delgadio. It'd be good if they did.
I reckon they could get anything.
Anyone can make it happen.
You know what else they should do? And I don't think they've ever done it, and I'm not too sure why. Because it'd be
anal.
No, well, the Andy and Josh. I wouldn't take anything off the table with that. I mean, you know, you show me your magic wand, I'll show you mine. I personally, I don't understand why Josh J has never done his show at the session, or if he has, I don't know.
Oh my God, yeah. What the fuck?
Like, why the fuck? You've got the fact. And also, it's Andy's favourite thing. It saves the company money, which means more money for Andy. Like, you're not going to have to pay Josh because he's going to just be there anyway.
I would love to see Josh's. Actually, both. That would be fantastic, actually, both their shows, because Andy has a show in the Rhapsody Theatre in Chicago. Josh, I don't know if Josh tours his show or if he's in the same residency, but Andy on the Saturday or the Friday, or the Sunday, whatever, and Josh the following night would be fucking wild.
It would. I know we take the piss, and we only take the piss because we know they can take it, and they know we're not serious generally, other than the kind of thing I'm deadly serious about.
We're punching up.
Yeah, we're punching up, right? But I know we take the piss, but they've got fucking incredible shows. And they don't have an ego insofar as they'd rather give that platform to somebody else, not to themselves.
You would want to see both of their shows as a...
So would I. I saw Andy perform at the Curious Cabaret, Chris Wilder's Curious Cabaret in Nottingham. He was one of he was the headlining act, and I went to watch his show specifically because Andy was there. And he was doing some new material. He was working in new material. It's fucking brilliant. Like, Andy's fucking brilliant. I think he doesn't get the respect he should get because he's like, it's him and Josh is just so fucking out there. But Andy's show is fucking incredible.
They're fucking smashing baseballs across fucking stadiums. Wouldn't have the same feel if it was just Andy punting a rugby ball for the fucking Harlequin Lions or something. The British version of a fucking baseball pitch. It's a fucking soggy rugby pitch with Andy just missing.
That's funny. Oh my God.
I think people forget because they're the face of magicians forget because they're a face of a magic company.
Yeah, but they're both incredible performing magicians that perform in their own right at a very high level. That's how they met on a TV show. That they were both performing on. So, like, why not? I would. That's what I'd do. That's the best option. Have them both do their own, or have them do a half each. Have them 2 halves, and the first half is Andy, second half.
Oh, combine the, it'd be funny to see, like, right, just for the session, they put together a 2-man show. You know? A John and Andy show.
Yeah. Never before, never again. I reckon they could pull
That'd be fucking hilarious.
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
I want Josh to get Andy tattooed on the bottom of his foot, like Toy Story. Because he's Andy's bitch.
Oh, when you're running a magic company, you need an Andy. You need an Andy. I mean, fucking hell, the shit that they've been through this year with the hacking and everything. Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, that whole beat off.
Yeah. You know, when Andy turned into a superhero and he's like, right, motherfuckers.
Turned into Jarvis.
Yeah.
The time, man.
Like, repel.
See, I'm a quitter. If that happened to me, I just give up. Well, see ya. Where the cast goes.
Fucking hell. So, I think we've reached the end of it. We're over 3 hours now. You can tell he's got nothing to do. He wants to carry on talking. I've got to get to fucking North Hills. He's now got to... Somebody give this man a project to edit, please, because...
Somebody give this man a job.
He's got too much fucking time in his hands. If you've got a fucking trick, go contact Lloyd. He needs something to do.
I've been making vanishing elephant boxes out the wazoo, man.
Fucking hell.
Be my head in.
Ah, fuck.
Literally.
Well, you know...
Well, I'm going to listen to the new Jeremy Robinson book today, so I'll smash out another couple of hundred, hopefully.
There you go. I bet. And as you start doing them more and more, they'll get quicker. I know you say 45 minutes, but anything that when you start doing it more and more and more, it gets quicker. I know you've got the certain very technical things to do, but you find little shortcuts, don't you?
I am. So like originally they were taking me 45 minutes. I've got that number down, and what I'm doing, instead of doing it one by one, I'm now doing like 10 at a time. So each step of the process, I'm doing that one step on 10, then the next step across 10. And I find that it feels like that's taking quite a lot of time off the process. Yeah. But it's still long winded. There's a lot.
Still very labor intensive, yeah. Which is why you couldn't really get a production company to do it, because it'd just be. I couldn't see how you could mass produce that.
If anyone's listening, I'll sell the rights to it. Oh no. No, I was going to say. No, I won't sell the rights to it.
You need that elephant money. Every single one of those decks of cards.
Well, if someone's interested in making me an offer to buy the rights to it, then I will hear that offer, because if you can find a way of doing them, and I get my cut, then I don't know.
There you go. If you're listening, come on, Nardi. You'll find that money behind your fucking sofa. Go dig deep behind Harry's bull sack. You'll find it there. To get a few quid out, give it to Lloyd, and then you're going to have your own little elephant.
It couldn't be less than 100 grand.
Yeah. There you go.
But
Great.
We can talk.
There you go. But I really have to go, because if I don't, I'm never going to make it to this fucking...
I've got nothing to do, so I could just talk shit all day.
Well, go fucking talk shit somewhere else. I've got to fucking go. I've got to end up in your country. So we're going to stop this podcast right now. But I've got a feeling that they might get longer if I've got nothing on. But
that's what she said. Sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week with another podcast. And I'm calling you tomorrow, Lloyd, to finalise everything on the convention so that next week we can make that convention special. So listen out for that. We'll be back next Wednesday. Outside of that, Lloyd, you're a free man for the first time ever as a completely free, independent motherfucker. Wrap this whole thing up.
Have a shit week and don't fuck kids, you daft cunt.
Exactly. Don't fuck kids. Have a shit week. I'm Craig. This is Lloyd. We'll see you next week right here on the Magic Podcast.
We apologize for disrupting your normal daily schedule. You may now relax, tuck your deck back in, and resume your regular day-to-day life. Remember to subscribe to be notified the moment each new episode goes live every Wednesday. And join our Facebook group to continue the conversation. The link is in the description to this podcast. Thank you for listening to The Magic Podcast.